Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody from all around the world, hello and welcome to another episode of The Watchman with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Make some noise, clap it up, get excited wherever you are. We are back with another action-packed show for you today, covering the world of boxing and beyond, with a whole host of news to cover and a whole smorgasbord of opportunity to delve into, with a whole bunch of fight talk. Ryan Garcia and Barrios is happening this weekend. We got a whole bunch of breakdowns on that fight, as well as we have to now see future outings for Shakur versus Ryan Garcia. That fight is now starting to heat up as to who can beat who. Shakur saying that Ryan ain't got no chance. Ryan saying that he'll be able to take him out. We're going to have a whole bunch of conversation. We got Keyshawn Davis that we have to discuss. If you didn't know, who's been hunting down Debo Devin Haney. Yes, indeed. I'm talking about searching high and low for the bullet for a big-time payday and a big-time championship opportunity. Will we see Keyshawn be able to go and fight against Devin Haney at 147? And in the meantime as well, don't forget, we even had a very recent, about 30 minutes ago, recent interview with Keyshawn Davis on camera on the Mace, with some very interesting tidbits and sound bites involving Keyshawn Davis and against the other confidants, including his own brother Shakur Stevenson, all on that show. We're going to delve into that and so much more right here on our show. So we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you listening. If you haven't tuned in before, hey, I'm Jean-Luc Welch. This is the Watch Report. If you would like to, go ahead. Actually, we need you to go ahead and leave a like on the video. Come on, get the likes up on this show. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Come be a part of this empire. Yes, indeed. Come be a part of the hottest show in all of the globe, right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, leave a like, comment on the video. Oh, hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post. And please be sure to do the most important thing, which is to share the show with everybody that you know, so we can keep on building up this empire together. Oh, with you and your support, we can make it possible with you all as our guiding light to grow as a community. We got so much stuff to cover. We got so many things to delve into. Please keep on hitting the chat. Comment your thoughts and opinions on anything that we discuss on this show. At the end of the show, we're going to have championship rounds where for 30 minutes to an hour, we let you talk about anything that you want to discuss. Movie, sports, television, NBA, NFL, boxing, topics we didn't get to cover, topics you want to delve into. You got the floor at the last half of the show, but we got a whole bunch of stuff to run down on this show, so we appreciate you tuning in. And also, one last thing, if you can support the channel, Cash App, PayPal, links in the description, Super Chat, Super Gifts, and stickers, helps me to pay the bills and make this show bigger and better for you all to witness and enjoy. But let's jump out into the world of boxing, shall we? Come on, it is time to talk about sports, and it is time to step into the ring. Yeah, buddy, come on. Ring the bell, let's get it started. We got people in the chat already. Like with love, King, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. Please go ahead and leave a like on the stream. Keyshawn versus Devin is a fight I really want to see. Winner fight Shakur. That would be a very interesting endeavor. And shoot, since you brought it up, we can go on and start the show off with that very topic on essentially Keyshawn Davis talking about the Keyshawn Davis going at the likes of Devin Haney. Yes, indeed. Come on, let's jump into it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We might as well start now hot. We got a recent, very scathing, and I do mean scathing, ramifications of Keyshawn Davis over social media coming off of his win against Jermaine Ortiz, a knockout victory in the 11th round. That was a complete dominating performance that got the world buzzing again about one of the best talents in boxing, coming at 140. Or debuting, in the division at 140, and putting the brakes on somebody who gave even the likes of Teofimo Lopez some real trouble. Now it's been going on a tirade at everybody he can, searching for the one man that can satiate his hunger for greatness as well as put some money in his pocket, and that is Devin Haney. Yes, indeed, the best 147-pounder in the world now has got some competition because Keyshawn Davis seemingly is looking to legit move move up. Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, he's looking to go out to 147, and he's looking to take down the big kahuna, the big beast in the division of welterweight, the current best welterweight in the world, unified champ, Devin Haney. Now, this, like you say, Love King, is a very interesting matchup, not just because of what can be for that fight itself, but down the line. We would love to see a fight with Keyshawn and Devin Haney. And would want to see the winner fight Shakur. Now, we talk about this because we've discussed ad nauseum about the dynamics of Shakur and Shakur and Keyshawn Davis, and the fact that they both will seemingly not fight each other. At first, there wasn't a price you could put on it, and then Shakur said you can have $500 million that we would take that for us to fight if we were to fight. But we brothers, that ain't never gonna happen. But at the meantime, I've been telling you all, Shakur, as much as he may want to stay true to that, Keyshawn Davis will not sit idly by while you get this level of praise with you being right in front of him. Especially if y'all keep moving up in the same divisions at the same time, like it seems like the situation may line up to be just that. At 147, we are in the midst of a potential brewing rivalry, especially if we see Keyshawn beat Devin Haney. And the reason why I say that is because Keyshawn Davis has been adamant at the rhetoric about him being the best fighter in the world, not just at the division, the best in the world. And then he's getting asked more and more about him and Shakur on a consistent basis, and it's getting a lot more, I don't want to say sketchy, but it's getting a lot more deliberate as to the tone at which he is being talked about. And I'll even put part of the interview that we saw with Cameron and Mace that we just had roughly an hour ago. Now I'll let them say it for yourself. But this is a very interesting question where Mace asks Keyshawn Davis, again, one of the hosts of Cameron and Mace, one of the more popular podcasts on social media, talking about if he did get a fight with Devin Haney, if he did, and beat him, it wouldn't even mean as much as if he was to beat Shakur Stevenson, because in Mace's own words, Devin Haney's damaged goods. But again, I'll get into why this is a very important tidbit, but I'll let it play for you all to witness and enjoy as we delve into the world of picture in picture really quickly right here, right now, for you to witness and enjoy. Give me 1 second to make sure everything on my end is going to be proper. Okay, we good to go. We good to go. Yes, indeed, we good to go. So let me let y'all see exactly what he had to say on this show.
If you want to talk about fighters, I've been calling out Devin Haney lately. And they've been going crazy on the media, you know what I'm saying? I feel
I really like that idea.
I feel like when I stop Devin Haney
that's what's gonna make me the props of I'm just keeping it a stack with you.
Go ahead.
Devin Haney will not mean as much as a win over those other two names. I don't want to keep saying their names because we're not focused on
talking about stopping him though.
Yeah, but if
that's a different story.
Yeah, Ryan almost stopped him.
Almost.
But you'll be fighting him after somebody damaged him. That's different.
Didn't he just have one of his greatest performances?
I know, but there's some damage there. We saw Roy Jones. We saw the best of him.
If you want to talk about fighters,
now I will say, now again, I'm not playing this to hold Cameron and Mace to some big higher ups from the standpoint of boxing knowledge and prowess. They're fans of the sport. Yeah, they know the sport, but again, but this is where some of the disconnect lies when it comes to talking about the intricacies from the standpoint of what a win would mean. But again, I'm gonna tell you why I play that clip, because it is indeed important. Mace is essentially saying that because of the beating that we saw Devin Haney give or Devin Haney take against Ryan Garcia, even if he's calling him out, even after the performance that he put on up against Brian Orman Jr., this ain't going to be anything of real impressive nature due to the fact that it's going to be seen, Devin Haney was already beaten up. Now, we've heard this rhetoric before with Terrence Crawford. Don't forget, Terrence Crawford, when he beat Errol Spence Jr., what did everybody say? Oh, he was in a car crash before that. Oh my God, he had a torn retina. Oh my goodness, he lost his teeth, everything under the sun, and it was, you didn't beat the best version of Errol Spence Jr. That was the running gag, because it was a gag, because that was not a bad Errol Spence. He just got dominated by a better fighter. If Keyshawn was to pull off that type of incredible feat of beating the likes of, hold on, let me transfer back. If he was able to beat the likes of, Devin Haney at 147, potentially in his first fight at the division, hey, that would not be a bad win or a damaged good win. Mace is trying to, and also the fact that Ryan Garcia was on Ostering, also, again, he popped dirty. Because how you feel about the situation, he did pop dirty. So it's like, some people, a lot of people use it as a reason for why, hey, we saw that fight take place and go down, when especially after he lost to Rolly Romero, and I was like, oh, hey, maybe he did need that type of stuff. But again, that's a whole other conversation. Point being, you can't devalue that. You shouldn't devalue that. And there's already getting rhetoric from the public, just like this, that is telling you, ain't nothing else going to be better or bigger in your career than fighting Shakur and beating Shakur. Even the other stamping of greatness, or rather the other steps of greatness that you're attempting to take, won't mean anything unless you fight Shakur Stevenson. As per Cameron and Mason, there's a lot of people that hold that same sentiment, like with Mace, that Devin Haney is damaged good. Not me. Not me. Be clear. Not me. I'm saying that's a bold-faced lie, but I'm saying that type of rhetoric with the temperament of Keyshawn Davis. When I told y'all over 3 months ago, this stuff is going to start picking up, and Keyshawn's going to be put in a situation where somebody's going to test that bond of blood that y'all got together with y'all brotherhood. Somebody's going to test it, because he's not going to deal with this level of quote-unquote disrespect from his perspective of what his career is panning out to be when he is looking to be genuinely great. And we've seen him try to be great. And everybody in the public is funneling more and more on that heaping pile of dogged anticipation. We want to see you against Shakur, straight up. And he's going to cross that line. Now, what do you think he can beat him? It's a whole other question. Right now, the question is, can he beat Keyshawn? Can he beat Devin Haney? Because he is going to go after him. He is trying to fight for him. He is trying to go and push him up and get his way into a championship opportunity. And I want to see that fight. But if he does make it past that, now we can get in conversations of, can he beat Shakur if that fight was to indeed actually be in a position to happen? Because it would be, because he would have some titles around his belt that Shakur would have to go through him to get, hypothetically. I'm not saying they should break that bond that they got, but I'm saying it's getting tougher and tougher on Keyshawn Davis's end specifically to hold up that end of the bargain, strictly because he's getting bombarded by the public and by fans with everybody just wants to see that fight, and they're starting to devalue what his career is unless he takes that fight with Shakur, based on the question we're starting to hear him ask, which again is ridiculous, but that's what the funnel of anticipation is trying to draw out. You'd be on the lookout for that. But again, before we can even say he can beat Shakur, we got to see if he can beat Devin Haney, because at this point in time, he's searching for it. He's looking for it, man. And I can't wait to see if it actually does happen. But let me keep on reading you all's chats so we don't get too far lost in the weeds of conversation. What about Keyshawn versus Richardson Hitchens? His other guy, I want to see that fight. I want to see fight one of those top guys. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. Keyshawn Davis and Hitchens, I don't know if their bond is the same as Shakur Stevenson. They've been jawing at each other for a minute. I'm not going to lie, over the course of a couple years. So I think if we were to see a fight at 140 happen, if we didn't see Keyshawn move up to 147 and fight Devin Haney, then yeah, I could see that take place. I could. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If that happened, Richard Hitchens would get his butt beaten. I'm talking about Hitchens would get destroyed. It wouldn't be funny. It wouldn't be funny. If Hitchens fought against Keyshawn Davis, it wouldn't be funny how bad he beat him. I'm dead serious. I promise you, it would not be funny. He'll beat him that bad. Let me see, Buck Kwame. Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the show, bud. Appreciate you joining in on our live. My brother Jean-Luc. What's good, fam? Anybody giving you a hard time? Let me know. Hey, look, ain't nobody giving me a hard time. We just started the show. Everything hunky-dory, smooth and even. We even talk about some of your stablemates right now in the chat and in the conversation. Hugh, with this show, and I would love to hear your thoughts as somebody who is who's trying to with him like night and day. Hey, I would like to see who you think would win between Shakur and Keyshawn Davis if they did ever fight each other. But like I said, before we can even think about that heartedly, we got to think about Keyshawn versus Devin Haney, because that's what's going down. And if you didn't see his most recent, I believe, one of his more recent things. When I'm talking about a fervent looking, or like when I'm talking about a fervent brother who's trying to truly make his way into the world of greatness by hunting down Devin Haney, buddy, he's about it, like for real. And I'll even let him show you for himself. This brother is literally hunting down Devin. Legit. And he seemed like he ain't stopping no time soon. I'll let you see the clip of his social media post to show you why this fight could actually be taking place. Before I do, we got people in the chat like Burr. What's going on, Burr? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. Thank you so much for spending the Tuesday afternoon with us on our weekly show, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Same time, same place, same channel, same excitement and rhetoric. Hopefully I'm making the day a little bit brighter. Hopefully leave a like on the chat. Absolutely. But let me see. Welch, how you doing? How you doing yourself? Which are you joining it? Devin Haney getting knocked out at 154. He's tripping. Well, hold on. Wait a minute now. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold. No, I didn't know. It's Devin Haney already looking to move up to 154. I didn't hear that now. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. He just got at 147 and was dominant. I thought he was going to wait around because he had so many people coming up to his division, and it was most likely to become undisputed. If he did he say this? If he said this, or if Bill Haney said this, wait, no, he did say it. I almost forgot, because he's calling out Xander Zayas. That's what, it didn't hit me that he was calling out Xander and a couple of other people at 154 and not calling out the likes of Keyshawn Davis. Speaking of which, that's actually why dang it, I see why Keyshawn put that video out that I was getting ready to play on the show. Cause shoot, he might have to look for. I didn't put two and two together. Devin Haney reportedly has been calling out Xander Zayas and a couple of people at 154, the weight class above him, instead of waiting and reigning at 147, which again, I am not upset at going to chase greatness at higher divisions, because it's hard to do. I get it. At the same breath, we all saw there was going to be work that was going to be done. And especially with Keyshawn Davis as potentially the next dude up, you want to talk about a fight that would sell and give you that paper. That would have been the fight, coupled with the fact that, don't forget, if you did not know, Devin Haney, or rather Bill Haney, met with Keyshawn Davis the day before the Shakur Stevenson Kevin Lopez card, and they met face to face on camera, and they were like, Keyshawn told Bill Haney, yo, after I get Ortiz out of here, we next, right? You gonna make it happen. I'm gonna hold up my end of the bargain. Bill Haney said, yep, do your job, and we're going to get you right, and we're going to, apparently, essentially agreeing, we're going to make it happen. Next thing you know, he knocks out Jermaine Ortiz, and reportedly, if I do have the clip, reportedly, since that point in time, Devin Haney, Bill Haney, and Haney's as a whole have not been calling him out since, or making any moves. And I'll let Keyshawn even tell you from that same podcast, that was the Cameron and Mace show. Let me go on and play it for you right here, right now, for the public to witness and see. There we go. Now, is it going to play? Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's put down that. Want to make sure this thing ain't buffering no more. So let's try to bump down that pixel count. But now let's see what Keyshawn had to say.
Go to 147 and fight him at his weight. Like, it's weird because, like, I know y'all seen the video when I was talking to his father.
Yeah.
And he's saying he told me to stand on my word.
Yeah, he said stand on your word.
Now he's out here calling out other fighters. He's literally calling out other fighters at 154. So damn, you ain't standing your word and I'm making you run out your own weight class. Like what we talking about here? Like you really, I wouldn't say you scared of me because fighters aren't really scared of fighters, but you're ducking me? Like what is it about?
You don't think fight?
Go to 147 and fight.
But you know my thing. But as you can see, Keyshawn's hot. He's living, and I understand the sentiment due to the fact that hey, you said he was going to. Now, let me see what you all got to say. Justin Benson, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in to the show with us on today. Now, I will say this got posted. You say this old, but I believe this got posted an hour ago. I believe this is the most recent interview that he had with Cameron. If I'm wrong, please excuse me. But if I'm wrong, all of this was this interview was coming off the backs after. Well, we had seen with Jermaine Ortiz with Keyshawn Davis. So I believe this is recent. If I'm wrong, please excuse me. I do apologize. I'm trying to be reputable. Hey, I'm doing the best I can, y'all. I'm trying to make this as close to a professional production as possible. Though it's a one-man band, we try to give you all high-quality content. But I believe this is recent because I know this got posted roughly an hour or two ago. I'm using Hassan, his Twitter, and one of the more prominent boxing social media channels that we have to kind of help keep up with the news. But it's been around. And from what's the name of their show? What's Cameron and Mason's podcast? I can't remember. Shoot, but their show themselves also got, you can search it. They got on their show, on their channel, on their various social medias as well. But regardless of which, the truth of the matter is, that's what's going down. And the truth of the matter is, Keyshawn is upset. Truth of the matter is, everybody been searching for the likes of Devin Haney. He wants that shot. He wants that goal. He wants, trying to make sure everything is stopped so you ain't hearing overlapping audio, but he wants that type of drive. Apparently he ain't getting it, again, from his perspective. And for me, I don't like that we're hearing Devin Haney calling out the likes of Zayas, only because we understood after Haney and Norman, there was work to be done on the back end. And so which was coming to him. Again, this will be the equivalent, mind you, this will be the equivalent of if we had, in a way, at 122, with Ben Rodriguez committing to moving up to your division, and Junto Nakatani committing to move up to your division, and then we see her anyway saying, I'm calling out, well, I would have said Nick Ball, but that buddy got knocked down and put to sleep by the likes of Brandon Figueroa. But Brandon Figueroa, I'm calling out Brandon Figueroa. I'm calling out Lee. I'm calling out Espinoza, which we're not mad at because you're chasing greatness, but at the same breath, the fights that you know are your biggest tests are now here or directly in your vicinity. Why are you moving in this type of way? From the perspective of we like, this is where you should stay, at least for the time being. From the perspective of, again, revenue and star power and the talent level that we're like, this is right there. As well as Devin Haney, you look the best that you looked at 147. I don't know if you can do that at 154. And if you do go to 154, brother, it ain't going to be Zayas or you may get first. It might just be Boots Ennis. It might be Boots Ennis. I'm not going to lie. It might be Boots. Because we can see, again, hypothetically, Boots, Virgil, if that doesn't get agreed upon, next thing you know, if Boots wins, he's going after most likely Zayas before you. Most likely. Because he'll be the biggest cash cow. And everybody, even if you have a championship, you can't avoid him. Especially not with Eddie Hearn being able to pull strings and get positions like he wants to do it. He'll be able to get a championship before Devin Haney. He will. I'll guarantee you he will. And then the road will run through him. And I doubt that we would see Devin Haney want to take that matchup, but he would have to take that matchup. I doubt that, but he would have to. Boy, that would be a dangerous thing. But that's what's on the line. But before we get that, again, still, we want we want 147 and see what you can do with the rest of the crew. But let me see what you all got to say even still on the day. Justin Benson, he's talking about Zayas. Yes, he is talking about Zayas, absolutely. Burr, what do you think about that? I think he can beat Xander, yeah, but not Virgil or Boots. I'm agreeing with you. When the second Devin Haney crosses 154, that's a threshold he can't get by. With that type of deep talent, with again, the biggest thing, the physical advantage that Devin Haney has, now that won't be applicable. Once you get up to 154, now this is a different game. This is a different game now, with the amount of technical ability as well as physical dominance that you're going to have to face off against. It ain't going to be the same. With knowledge that, to be frank, with all respect to Brian Humber Jr., he didn't have that, what they got at 154. At this deep of a division, he didn't have that. I'm not saying that Haney still can't be one of the better technical fighters up there, but that alone, at this division, that might not be enough in the same way he's been able to dominate with him against everybody else coming up to 154. I don't know if he wants to make that mistake, because that would be bad. I think that would be really bad. Let me see. It is what it is. It's the name of Ken Ross Podcast. Thank you, Vince. I knew it was. It is something, but I couldn't think of what the last part of the name was. But thank you again for the help. I do appreciate it. Truth, what's going on with the Truth? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Hopefully you all are leaving a like on the stream. It does help out immensely. Please, if you can, help me out. Leave a like. Just share the show. Tell people about it, and it makes a world of difference with one quick click. But let me see. Joshua Edwards is back on the Ryan Barrios. Oh, he is? Oh, dang. Okay. All right. That's good. I got a little bit scared that fight was going to be if I was going to get taken off. So now it's what? It's Joshua Edwards, Hiroka versus Gary Antoine Russell, Barrios, Ryan Garcia, and there's one more fight. Frank Martin also returned. Yeah, that card is going to be pretty good. I'm not going to lie. That fight's actually going to be pretty good. But let me see. Boots don't want real smoke. No. Justin. I'm going to say this. You could have said that. You could have said that as a potential real ire before he officially moved up to 154. Now, he does want the smoke. He is going after Virgil Ortiz like we've been asking him to, fervently. And it's been Ortiz, or more so it's been Oscar De La Hoya, that's been holding stuff up. But he is actively, thankfully, moving like we asked him to move, and is looking out to get the competition that not just is of his caliber, but also will move him forward, unlike what he was doing in the past at 147. Granted, he still became a unified champion. Stanios was the best win he's had in his career from the standpoint of accomplishment, which we respect, and it is a good win. That's the win that kind of, okay, yeah, this buddy is the real deal. For me, that proved everything of, okay, he's got some real gusto in his ability. Now, he is taking the steps proper to make his name worth its weight, which is great. And apparently, again, speculation, real quick, rumor and speculation, that fight's going down. I know we broke it last week that fight's was gonna be announced within the week last week. It didn't happen last week, so I'm gonna say it right now. We're going back to from a category 5 to a category 3. It's still it's volatile territory, but it's not confirmed that fight is officially signed at this point in time, because no news has broken out. Though it looks like it's going to be incredibly close to happening. I dare say it may happen and get announced after this weekend with Ryan Garcia and Barrios. I dare say, let the star be the star. Ryan takes the shine and do all that stuff. Barrios and that whole night. Let it go through. Afterwards, that Monday or Wednesday, we get an official announcement. I'm speculating. But again, it's speculation. We're going to see how it goes from here. But let me see. Burr, just imagine a Fundora versus Haney. Like what? I don't know how he wins it. He might be faster. But my gosh, you want to talk about outgunned from a physical standpoint, brother. Like you gonna be jabbing backwards, and you still gonna be within his range. That's the struggle. Like you can probably move incredibly well. You will be able to move against Fundora, but that length is reaching from the other side of the ring. You would have to, you want to talk about that bow and arrow effect that we used to have with Devin Haney, but he's going to have to do that just to reach in and get to Fundora, because that gap that's going to be ultimately taking place, and with the power that we know Fundora can have and the leverage on that chopping right hand, oh my gosh, especially with them uppercuts as well, if we see Haney get on the inside, that's going to be an interesting hill to climb for anybody, even for the likes of Devin Haney. I would be interested. That would be intriguing. It might not be exciting, but it would indeed be intriguing. But again, 147 is where I want him to stay because of who's coming behind him in terms of talent, and that is Keyshawn Davis. That's my betting, but that's what I'm waiting on. That's what I'm anticipating. That's what I need to see. I gotta see it, because if I don't, my gosh, I'm gonna be hot. I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna be livid, genuine livid, because there's too much quality that's getting ready to face off against Devin Haney to not have it take place and go down. It's too much, and we know it's too much. We know it's too much quality to see it just go fall by the wayside. We know this. We know this. My gosh. And so, but even still, we got so much to cover on this show, and we do want to make sure we cover everything that we can. But the last thing with Keyshawn and Haney, specifically, with that fight, I do hope it happens. I do think we will see it, even though we're seeing Devin call out Zayas and others at 154. I doubt he actually commits to moving up to 154. I doubt, unless something breaks on this show today, I doubt he's going to actually go and say, I'm going up there, and we're going to see how I dominate at 154. I doubt that, because there's too much smoke, and I don't know if he's got enough fire for that. Even if he gets past the Zayas war, once he gets to that championship level, well, now you got to deal with the big boys, the real big boys of that division, Boots and Virgil. And I don't think you want that type of smoke at this point in time, because you ain't ready for that. Not because your skills aren't up to par, but because you don't know what you're asking for with those on the horizon. Not right now. Not right now. Again, at least in my humble estimation. But even still, that's last thing on Keyshawn and Haney. But let me see what you all got to say. Oh, Legendary, what's going on, brother? Thank you for hey, Legendary Super Saiyan Jackson, what's up with you? Appreciate you joining on the show. Leave a like on the stream. Keep on commenting. Keep on chatting. Keep on supporting. Hey, if you would like to give to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, links down below in the description, as well as Super Chat and Super Gifts. All that stuff, if you could, would mean the world to me. But we still got so much to cover on this show. We can actually go a myriad of ways. But let's go with what we got right now with the build up of Garcia versus Mario Barrios. That is right. This fight week, this week, get ready, get excited. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on. It's time for a war. Blood and guts are bounding. Everybody is getting ready to see what could be an insane level of high-octane competition between Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia for the first time in Ryan's career, a legit world championship. Now, do we think he's going to win? Do we think he'll actually be able to make it out and get a victory? Only time will tell. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the pink. There's so many intricate ways that we can touch on this fight, and I'll even let what Ryan Garcia said himself be one of the leading causes of this conversation. Because if you didn't hear what Ryan Garcia had said involving this fight with Mario Barrios, there's actually two things that need to play. One is the potential. I'll play that one first. That's not as significant, but it's still interesting. This will be Ryan Garcia's last fight with Golden Boy Promotions, if you did not know. And if you don't believe me, I will let Ryan Garcia tell you for himself right here.
You're not with.
Wait, there we go.
Golden Boy.
I am currently, but after this fight, I'll be sort of a free agent.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when he says sort of free agent, I don't really know what that means unless he's already got a deal behind the doors that he's already got signed up with. He will no longer be with Oscar De La Hoya, and that's another star that's about to be gone from the Golden Boy regime. And again, the tower crumbles yet again for one of the most controversial stars in terms of promoters that the boxing world has to offer. Very interesting where you can sign with. Again, it could be Zuffa. Who knows what that's going to be? Most likely it won't be. But don't rule them out because they already got Jai Patai. Rumored that they might have Teofimo Lopez also as a fighter that they can sign. But again, just leaving the door open. Who knows what will happen? Lord knows I don't, but even still, we speculate nonetheless. But even afterwards, we have another, the real tidbit about this fight was Ryan Garcia. Nope, well, I'll say that clip for later. Hold on, I'll say that one for later. In his prediction on when he will knock out.
I mean, I told everybody.
Well, hold on, Ryan. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Let me play the clip first before you start talking. Ryan Garcia when he's going to knock out Mario Barrios, which by his own account is going to be within 5 rounds. Before I do that, let me actually read what you all got to say on the day real quick. Let me see. Legendary Super saying either an early round KO from Ryan or an ugly decision win from Ryan that no one likes. That's actually going to be really interesting. Per Ryan Garcia's words, he's going to knock him out between rounds 7 and rounds 8 and rounds 10.
Barrios, what's the fight prediction there?
I mean, I told everybody that I did my last interview with. I see 8, 9, or 10.
Really?
Yeah.
So going the distance?
No, that's not going the distance, brother.
Well, is it? It's 12 rounds, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. A knockout in the 8, 9, or 10.
Yeah.
Barrios.
So what's the fight?
that is Ryan's. But that's Ryan's prediction. Apparently, with Legendary Super saying that some people would tend to agree. Now, here's the interesting thing about this matchup. When we're looking from the perspective of talent, the potential may be higher for the likes of Barrios. Or no, for the likes of Ryan Garcia. But the fundamentals are leaning towards the side of Mario Barrios. What makes this fight so hard to, or rather so much of a interesting dilemma, is the physical speed and the explosiveness of Ryan Garcia can do the same thing that we saw Tank do to the likes of Barrios. Again, you can talk about Tank Davis and his technical expertise, which again, it is there, but it was the explosiveness of him being able to close the gap against a taller fighter that made him so be able to take advantage of the second half of the fight and ultimately get a knockout in that fight on Tank Davis's end. With this same thing with Ryan Garcia, the same rule can apply. The ability of Ryan Garcia to catch you, not just catch you, beat you out with a punch before you can register that it's going to come through is a very dangerous sentiment for the likes of Mario Barrios. Why do I ask that? Why do I say that? Excuse me. Well, just look at Manny Pacquiao. Look what Manny Pacquiao did. Manny Pacquiao should have won that fight against Barrios, number one. And number two, Manny Pacquiao, with that same level of jumping in, jumping out, the steel-laden speed that he has in his 46-year-old frame. Doesn't make any sense that he still got it, but he got it nonetheless. This man was still making Barrios have to, not just have to work, but have to react, read, anticipate. Even with Barrios having some success later on in the second half of the fight, it was still like, hey, I'm dealing with some pressure. I'm dealing with some like the brother's jumping out the screen against me. We are, that type of explosive nature can be a beatable, or rather a debilitating potential flaw from the perspective of Barrios, because if he gets one of those reads wrong, if he gets to a point where that leaping left hook or even that closing speed of a counter shot when you're trading punches, you can't register that. You could be out before you know it. And as much as Barrios is a very, a very dangerous warrior of a fighter, he will not quit. At the same vein, Ryan Garcia's got enough power to put him out in one shot. He's got enough power to put him out in one shot. especially at 154. I don't say that lightly. I say that because of the fact that the same thing we said with other people. Not everyone would. Same thing we said with certain people. Ryan Garcia fits that mold. The physical capabilities of what he's able to do as he elevates up through divisions, I do believe will get better, especially at 154. Or excuse me, at 147, excuse me. I do think he'll be better. From the standpoint of you could argue he might be more faster because he's more filled out. Fuller muscle-wise, will have more pop. The fluidity of his movement, of his punches, everything will feel comfortable. So he can be a even more dangerous and dominant type of offensive puncher. And if that's the case, Barrios could be some real trouble. But I want to hear what you got to say on this topic. Barrios didn't step on the gas versus Manny like he did with Tank. Asterisk in that one, in my opinion. I mean, like, he did. Right, he didn't step on the gas in the same way, but you have to understand the why. From my perspective, I'm not saying I'm right about, but from what I saw, there was a lot of respect given to Manny Pacquiao. Now, in the same way, yeah, there was respect given to Tank as well, but it was more so, okay, I should still be able to outdog, quote unquote, Tank Davis. I gotta put my foot on the gas because I know he's coming up in the second half of the fight. I gotta make sure I'm doing work because hey, this brother, if I don't, he'll take me out. Manny Pacquiao, there was a lot of respect, a whole bunch of respect, too much respect you could argue, and the surprise of okay, this brother's closing the gap and is getting to me in some of the same situations that Tank was also able to reach me. I did not think that he was still that fast. The mental adjustment took a lot of time, and I'm gonna tell you this: if you go back and look at Barrios' face, hey man, Pacquiao can still pop. People talk about his hands and saying they feel like rocks. Not because he got stuff in his gloves, but because just as a puncher, he just got very strong, thick forearms, and his fists are just like steel. And so when it looks like he's just volleying in with flurries of ones and twos, but that's hurting. That hurts. Especially when you're saying, oh my gosh, he's faster than me, and he's still carrying this much of a legit heavyweight. From the standpoint of, it ain't just some pity-pat stuff. He still got some crack in him. Oh my gosh. It took some time before I was like, okay, I know what I'm in here with now. I know what to expect now in a way that it's not the shock, the surprise, honestly. It's falling off. And so I think, again, my opinion, I think that's why we saw Barrios not step on the gas against Pacquiao. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't know if he can do that. If he does step on the gas in this fight with Ryan Garcia, I don't know if that's smart either. Because of the fact that he won't be able, if he gets into an exchanging war with the likes of Ryan Garcia, though we know he can knock him out, though we know Barrios has to pop, that he can, if Roller can put you down, Barrios can't put you out. If Roller can put you down and negate your offense, we know Barrios can do that same thing. We can say Barrios maybe was seen. He even said himself from the standpoint of he hears it all the time. He's the weakest champion in boxing at this division. I've even said this about Mario Barrios from the standpoint of what I saw him as when it came to a championship level fighter. But even still, if we saw Rolly do what Rolly did, we know for a fact that Barrios can do that same thing in an even more destructive manner because he doesn't have to go and reach in and lunge as much. He's taller than the likes of Ryan Garcia. He's long. He's longer than Ryan Garcia. He's got the advantages that I can apply that same level of pop without having to take the same level of risk as somebody who's shorter than you. And if you do catch me, I can trust my chin to some degree because I know I can't take a punch. I ain't got a whole bunch of losses on my record. And the losses I do have are against, again, legends or the best of this era. Period. Barrios is not a bad fighter. He's a good fighter. Really good. It's just the fact that he's going up against somebody who can go and potentially, just by sheer speed alone, may be able to eclipse that good level of talent. Legitimately. We understand, we're looking at a man in Ryan Garcia. Well, again, the technical expertise has not been his expertise. It's never been. He can fight. He can swarm. I dare say he can brawl. He fights with an imposing nature. He's not looking to go and box you and do all that. So that's why he was so stunned or so stun-locked when he was against Rolly Romero, because he couldn't just physically dominate him with his advantages in speed, length, and power, because Rolly was able to negate not just his best weapon, but, oh, I can catch you too and get you in places where you can't be physical anymore. There was a point in time when he was even pushing him off of, walking towards Ryan Garcia when that's Ryan Garcia's normal game plan. That is something that if Ryan Garcia gets taken out of his game, yeah, it can be bad. But if it's not, he doesn't get taken out of his game. He wants to be the Terminator-esque, the speedy hand of death. That is his hook. That's what he wants to be. The dominant force, the immovable object, the wall that closes in on the opposition because they can't escape that level of speed and dexterity. That's what Ryan Garcia wants to fight like. If he can do that against Barrios, okay, we got ourselves a potential knockout in the making. That 8th, 9th, 10th round knockout could be a real thing. But if he gets stun-locked again in that imposing nature, that wall gets stopped. Barrios all of a sudden, hey, buddy, your speed ain't enough. Not just to get around my jab, but now I'm able to get to you before you can get to me. Or I'm able to leave you on an island where I can pepper you up and still land hard shots when you feel flustered, helpless. Same way that you were against Rolly Romero. It's going to be bad. It could be an upset in the making, absolutely. Let me see. The best fight on the Barrios Ryan Garcia card is Russell versus Hiroka. And you know what? We can actually talk about the undercard a little bit. We really can. We can swiftly switch gears for a time. That undercard, Andy Hiroka versus Gary Antoine Russell, that might be the fight to steal the night. You're talking about two people that can absolutely go to work and completely blow away any type of competition in their way with insane levels of power, as well as speed. That could turn into a dogfight real quick. We've been talking about Gary Antoine Russell. He's been saying he don't know if Shakur is going to fight him. He's been saying there ain't a lot of people that want to fight me. He's been talking a lot of talk, which I get it. Champion, feeling himself, is one of the 4 belt holders, or one of the 3 belt holders in the entirety of the division. Is one of the quickest fighters that 140 got to offer, on top of being one of the most destructive. I get it. Talk your talk. Do what you got to do. You're on a pedestal to use her. You deserve some level of shine. At the same breath, buddy, you are in a position. You're going up against somebody that can wipe all that away in an instant. He can't. And we've talked about Andy Hiroka before on this show. It was briefly. I think it was like over 6 months ago that we talked about him on a fight, because we were saying this cat. People may not talk about it as much, but this brother, from a perspective of danger, my word, my gosh, preposterous. Insane. Again, 24. I believe it was 24-0. 24-0, 22? Is it 22? How many? Is it 22 knockouts that he got? Or is it 21? I can't remember how many KOs he's got on his resume. I'm going to have to fact check it to make sure. But either way, Buddy can swat. Buddy can hit. Buddy can go guns blazing. The Buddy can put you on the back burner real quick. That fight, I'm telling you, that fight might steal the show. I hope it's the co-main event. I can't remember the way of the card, but I hope it's the main event. Or co-main event. Because that, whoo, boy. That's gonna be a barn burner. I can't wait to see it. Way better than Hitchens and Oscar. They should have been the co-main. Wait, is Hitchens? There's no way. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, hold on. That's not right. That's not right. Hold on. Wait a minute. They're not the co-main, are they? There's no way. They're not the co-main event, are they? Richards and Hitchens versus Oscar Duarte? Oh my gosh, no! Oh no! Ah! Why? Why is that? Oh my goodness. That is not. Well, look, I'm sorry. Again, this is going to say, it sounds like I'm hating on Hitchens. It sounds like I'm hating on Hitchens. Let me be clear. I'm not hating on Richards and Hitchens. But from the perspective of entertainment on a card, even though this is for a title, there's no need to have Richards and Hitchens co-main eventing a card with the way that he fights, with no disrespect. It's gonna suck the energy out the building. This brother saying I'm gonna knock out the like of Oscar Duarte, but you ain't gonna do that. The fact that you knocked out Cambosos was a surprise. Let's be completely honest here. Be completely honest. You riding high off of that one, which again, impressive performance, because I didn't think you had that in you, but that one fight, you all of a sudden talking about you walking through like you Deontay Wilder all of a sudden. You talking like you stinking the baddest man on the planet. That you going through and you gonna be, forget Debo Dab, brother. You walking like the Reaper. That's how you talking. You walking like you the Reaper of boxing. Like, no. You don't need, golly, he does not need to be. Oh, he does not need to be the co-main event. But again, that's a whole other conversation. Either way, yeah, you're right. That should have been the main event. Not what we see. It's ridiculous. Let me see. Man Russell beating top names. They need to put respect on his name. They do. And this fight should at least bolster that up. Because if he knocks out Andy Hiroka, he beats him. Oh, good gosh. We know. Look, hey. If you don't know Andy Hiroka, go watch his highlights. This is a dangerous cat. This is a dangerous cat. He goes and he beats him. He goes and he takes him out. At this point in time now, at 140, you could argue that might be one of the most, outside of Teofimo Lopez, that might be the third best fighter in the division. It might be. And we walk and we say, what would it be? If we had, it would be Shakur. It would be Tio. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I'd argue, it's Hitchens. I'd argue it would be Hitchens as the third best in that division, in my perspective. What again? I know. Excuse me. I argue it'd be Russell as third best in the division, not Hitchens. Russell as third best in the division. If he beats him, like that'd be a bad butt to the face, in my opinion. But let me see. Hitchens thinks he's Mayweather. He thinks he's a lot of stuff, and he's good. He's good now. Don't take my my having fun. Don't take it away. Hitchens is good. I just don't like watching him. I don't think he's as good as he's talking. That's why I don't want him fighting Keyshawn Davis. Because when he gets beat by Keyshawn Davis, he's going to fall so far down the totem pole of, forgetting just the hype and excitement, straight up intrigue. Nobody's going to invest in Hitchens after he gets beat by Keyshawn Davis, simply because of the fact it's like, oh, okay, we now know where your level is. Especially if he gets dominated without the track record that we've seen from other stars in the world of boxing. I don't want that to happen to him. It's not right now. Because the foundation ain't secure enough yet. And we don't want that to all of a sudden the climb up be even longer. Well, Lord knows. He better stay away. He better stay away. Let me see. They both southpaws. This for sure another 50-50 fight. Just like Cruz versus Murataya. Yeah, nah, it would be. It would be. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of Murataya. Again, I don't know if this is real or not, but apparently there was some audio. If it's real, great. If it's not, grain of salt, please. Speculation. Hey, speculation. To be clear. Hey, red flag or rather yellow flag. Caution, everybody. Reportedly, Shakur would be willing to fight Raymond Murataya at 135. If they send a deal, reportedly, they send a deal. They want to get it done. He's willing to fight for the belt at 135 and move back down to go up against Murataya, who just beat Andy Cruz in one of the better fights to start off the year this year in a master class of styles. Incredible. And if he does do that, hey, I wouldn't be mad. I would like to see it. I would enjoy seeing it, but like I said, my thing is 140, handle the rest of the division, or fed up, go on to 147. Give us the fight with Devin Haney. Go on. Big fight after big fight. Make it happen. Absolutely. Hold on. We good? Hold on. We A-okay? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me look out my window. Hold on a minute. Hold on. What's going on outside? Okay. Never mind. I thought I got scared for a hot minute. We're good. Everything's A-okay. Everything's A-okay. Let me see. That's awesome news. Now that's stuff I like to hear. Rather see Shakur fight Murataya than Shakur fighting Ryan Garcia. Horrible matchup. Oh, okay. That actually brings us to the next topic of discussion that we did need to discuss on the day, and that is Ryan Garcia versus Shakur. Hey, you're following the book just like I needed it to. That brings us to a perfect discussion. Now, this is very interesting because we did have Ryan Garcia and Shakur essentially jawing at each other, and this fight is starting to heat up as a real potential possibility. If you didn't know, we had what's it called? What do we have? Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. I got my news right. Let me make sure I got it correct. Shakur Stevenson, when asked about a matchup against Ryan Garcia, essentially said that fight, no matter what version of Ryan Garcia came and fought against him, he would not be able to do a thing against me. At 147, 135, 140, doesn't matter. 150, I don't care what he comes up to. He won't be able to do a doggone thing to me. Now, this is off the backs of also Ryan Garcia saying that he would like to have, after Barrios, he would like to fight Shakur Stevenson next. Now let him say it for himself and let you hear the clip on Club Shay Shay what Ryan Garcia had to say on that potential matchup.
After you get this fight over,
right now I'm not trying to look too far ahead, but I'm really interested in the Shakur fight. It just it gets me going, and those are the type of fights that you'll see the best out of me. So definitely, he's somebody I want to, look into after this fight for sure.
And this did not now let me play before we talk about the fight as a whole. And again, Burr, we're gonna address your comment. Absolutely, we are. But there is an important side note that I want to discuss about this. I want you all to understand now the rhetoric that we are hearing about Shakur and compare that to what people were saying. Not us on this channel, but compare that to what people were saying about Shakur not even 6 months ago. This is why I was saying Shakur is not a boring fighter. Shakur can be a major star. Shakur is not just hyped up as being able to be one of the new faces of the sport, one of the future faces of the sport. Shakur is in a position where he can indeed take that title and people will care. The issue was he didn't have that one moment that was the stamping like we had with others. I didn't think we discussed this briefly in other episodes. Once he got that moment, the same way that we look at Floyd Mayweather and everybody You pay to see him lose. You pay to see him win. You just want to pay to see him. The same spectacle that we had with other stars. That it was this but is a dog. This but is this that, and the third. Everybody is recognizing him. We're there now. And people were not bringing up Shakur Stevenson's name often because he's a boring fighter. And even with the star power he had already garnered, with him being a 3-division champion, he was a big risk that didn't have enough of a big reward. Similar to what we had with Devin Haney. Remember, we are still saying, before that fight with Ryan Garcia, everybody was saying the same thing. Devin Haney is boring. If Devin Haney had won that fight with Ryan Garcia, he would have been called out left, right, and center. After he beat Brian Ormer Jr. and shut everybody up from the standpoint of, hey, yo, I'm still me, at least for the first half of the fight, with the knockdown, now people are bringing up his name. Understand the atmosphere surrounding a fighter is strictly for oftentimes based on vibes and rhetoric. Vibes and rhetoric instead of the actual talent. When the actual talent shows up in a situation to show, okay, what are you really? All of a sudden, no matter if people don't like you or not, your stardom becomes what it's supposed to be. It gets there. Devin Haney, again, it didn't get there up until, even after the Lomachenko fight. Well, it got there after the Lomachenko fight, and then it dipped with the Ryan Garcia fight, and then it got back up with the Brian Ormer fight. But you see the ebbs and flows? Nobody wanted Shakur. Nobody wanted to watch Shakur. And now everybody wants to see Shakur with about 5 different names. Go clean out 140. Go fight Gary Antoine Russell. Go beat up Richardson and Hitchens. Though that fight would be a snooze fest because Hitchens wouldn't be able to do nothing with nothing. Especially now that we've seen Shakur can walk you down and box you. So it's like the sky's the limit now. Why? Because all of a sudden now it's too big to ignore the talent that he has. And you have to know his name. And you want to know who can beat him. And every fighter's looking at him saying the risk is worth it. It's just an interesting side note that people on this very chat were going in on that Shakur Stevenson was nothing, was overrated. Tank would whoop him. He can't do nothing. He can't punch. He's nothing but a runner. And now he is literally one of the hottest names in all of this sport. That across divisions, he's getting called out. Like I said, this is a multi-division ripple effect of a fight. And I'm glad we got to see it. But I told y'all this was coming. I said this was coming. And we're here, thankfully. But shoot, man, it took y'all long enough. It took you long enough. It took people, not you in the chat, but it took people long enough to finally get to that situation. Finally, but in terms of the fight itself, hey, though we know, Burr, you don't want to see that fight with Garcia and Shakur. I, for one, would be very interested to see that fight with Shakur and Ryan Garcia. I would. I would be very intrigued to see how that would work. Very intrigued indeed. But let me see. It's crazy how people switch up real quick. It is. It's insane. It's insane. But when greatness finally shows up in a way that's undeniable, everybody can't say anything else except for, okay, we want to see you. Even if we don't like you, we just want to see you. And I'm glad, because it is what it should have been. Let me see. But he's not going to either. I know for a fact Shakur might be the man, but he's actually going to fight some killers. But, excuse me. I know that for a fact Shakur might be the man. But is he actually going to fight some killers? I doubt it. Well, I'll say this. I would pump the brakes on doubting Shakur's trajectory. Because if you look at the history of what he's done in the past, coupled with now having that magnum opus moment of fighting a legit top 10 level talent and cleaning him out. He, before that, fought Oscar Valdez, who was incredibly dangerous, or who was at that point in time still a real threat. Beat champion Jamal Herring early in his career. Knocked out artist in Yoshino. and kept on moving up and moving through. The worst performance has been De Los Santos, absolutely, but he put that to bed with what he did against Teofimo Lopez. He has faced off against people. Artur Maratunian, who gave Frank Martin a world of trouble before ultimately Frank Martin got him with a shot to the body and forced him to take a knee. But he gave Frank Martin all he could handle. Frank Martin's now at 140, looking like a threat for a championship with this knockout against, was it Bartholomew? Bellamy? I think Bartholomew. KOD, you can. Oh my gosh, the ghost is back to haunt the division yet again. He has been able to go and show, okay, yeah, I can compete with anybody. And prove it in a way that, okay, yeah, he's better than everybody. Well, he's better than most in the world. We now need to see from this point on where his career goes before we can say he won't take on anybody. Mind you, this ain't like Boots. When we were saying Boots hasn't taken on somebody that was worth their weight in salt of the competition that he was deserving to be. Like with Tank as well. Tank wasn't taking on people that were in the conversation of what he deserved to be with. From the standpoint of this brother, we know he's at this level. We know you're at or above this level. This should be your next fight, period. And he never took that type of challenge. He never did. We know he never did. He had big fights, but it wasn't from the ability standpoint, it was never matching up. It never did. Not because he was so much better, but because the people that were in that vicinity, he never actually stepped in the ring with. Of recent years. I'll say that because he fought Pedraza. He didn't want to fight Pedraza. He beat Pedraza, knocked out Pedraza. Everything was great. He brought up Leo Santa Cruz from 2-weight divisions. No, again, he knocked him out. I'm not going to hold that against him. He did his job, did what he should have done. It was a good fight as well. But from the perspective of the caliber that matches you in your same atmosphere or similar atmosphere, he didn't do that. He didn't. Oh, no, Isaiah, what's going on with it? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show with us on today. Let me see. Tank got a great resume. Come on, boy. See, and again, hold on. I'm not saying that his resume is bad. You have to understand what I'm saying. When Tio, Devin, Ryan, Tank, Lomachenko all were at the same division, Tank did not fight him, any of them, except for Ryan Garcia. After Ryan Garcia, that should have been the immediate thing. Okay, we're taking on Devin Haney for the championship. And we're going through in the same atmosphere. Those 4 names were in the same atmosphere as Tank. There were other good fighters there. Don't get me wrong. And he did beat them. But that rare air, that the 4 kings of sorts of this current era, when they were all in the same division, they never fought each other. And again, Tank had the power, like we covered before, to make those fights happen. This is not me saying that his resume is bad, but this is me saying that his resume is drastically underperformed due to the fact that that rare air he never fought against. He fought Barrios. Great. He moved up and did his job and beat somebody that was a real threat. No problem. A very big task. I'm not diminishing that. And then he moved back down and Shakur was right there to fight him and he never fought him, knowing that was a big fight. And he subsequently went on afterwards and fought people that we knew were not of his same level. There is a difference. We are not saying, again, we're not acting like he fought people that were 0-21. We are saying of the top 5 in the division, you did not take on. When you were in that same vicinity and they were around you, they move up. They fight each other or they go after others who are at the top of their division, and you still, when Abdul Amazing was coming up, when Keyshawn Davis was coming up, and okay, now he's a star. Abdul is a star. Shakur is bona fide a star. Lomachenko was still there at that point in time. You didn't do anything. And then you fought, again, Welch with the icing on the cake of, oh my gosh, those elite names, not good names, elite names, he is not fighting. That's our problem. That's our problem. Mind you, Shakur, with this talent of fighting Teofimo Lopez, Shakur wasn't even involved in that 4 Kings era of what Tank, Devin, Tio, and Ryan were all a part of, with Lomachenko being the 5th king. And How in the world did Shakur get to Teofimo Lopez before Tank did? How? That doesn't make any sense from the timeline perspective. When you all both were hot and everybody was there, how in the world did you not? How in the world did he get to him before you? That makes no sense. Or at least, how did he was even attempting, even if it didn't happen. We at least saw a push. We didn't even see a push from Tank. And again, I'm not making this a Tank episode. I'm not trying to hate on Tank, but we're trying to say, I'm trying to give a distinction of calling his resume bad versus saying it is not up to par. We are not saying he hasn't beaten quality names. Frank Martin is a great name. Mario Barrios is a great name. Hector Garcia, kinda good. And again, Pedraza early on, all that stuff. Hot start, has had kind of a, no, okay, he's rising up and then goes back to doing mundane stuff. Rises up a little bit with the Frank Martin win, goes back and does mundane stuff. The reaching the peak against the elite of elite was the one thing we were waiting on, and he never gave us that. That's our problem. The only one time he did it was against Ryan Garcia, and he didn't do it since. And Ryan Garcia, from an ability standpoint, was the worst out of those four. He still is the only one that hasn't been a real champion. He's getting his first shot at a title today, or this weekend. This is not me trying to hate. This is just real. And so, this is what we don't want Shakur to go there. But he hasn't at this point in time, because he was working his way up, getting the best fights that he could at the weight class, and now the megastar, the elite of the elite, he got there. So I wouldn't say for certain that we need to wait and see, or wait and say that Shakur won't fight quality competition, because he just did what most of the time we haven't seen people do. He did what we asked him to do. We wanted to see that fight. We said that would be a great war, and it actually went down. So I think he will continue to do this. I do. Because at this point in time, from my perspective, he hasn't gone away from anybody that was supposed to be in his vicinity. And now that he is the big fish that everybody else needs to catch, I don't think he's going to run away from smoke. I don't. I truly don't. Now, if he does, we call it out. But at this point in time, I think he should be just fine. I truly do. And there's a lot of names that are going to be huge for him to be able to fight against, that will have to now be forced to go against him. There's no more going away and saying he's boring, he isn't entertaining, he can't sell. All of that got shut down with Tio. So there's no excuse for anybody else. When Shakur's already said, I'll fight X, Y, Z, there's no excuse for anybody else to say, I want that smoke now. And people are now calling him out. Now, they're going to get beat most likely, but they're calling him out. And so I don't think we have to worry about that going down. In my opinion, Tank has a better resume. Excuse me. In my opinion, Tank has a better resume than Tio, Devin, and Lomachenko. He's already got opponents running divisions or champions in other divisions. Tank fought Ryan, though who was a 4 king, and he did, and absolutely did. And again, I brought that stuff up. It is the fact of the matter is that, again, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. I respect the opinion and I value the input. Absolutely. But this will be the last thing I talk about Tank. Well, hold on. Let me read it. What else you got to say real quick? We can't sit here and say the resume is underserving. You got Shakur fans pushing for Ryan fight, while Shakur said Ryan was weight drained, but Shakur pushing for Ryan weight clause to come in. No, weight clause at 140. What was it, 140, 147? I think. Just about. Now, granted, he looked full-fledged at 140. I'll say that. But again, you want to hold a weight clause against him? Know what you did. No problem at all. I would love it if people, now, granted, we want to see people fighting their own weight classes, but Tank did a weight clause, rehydration clause, against Ryan Garcia. And Shakur doing it too. We don't like it with Tank. Okay, fine. Don't gotta like it with Shakur. Completely understand. I'm no issue. The issue I would have, though, is that when we say, again, underserving or underwhelming, we're simply saying that same pop of, oh my gosh, he beat Tio, or Devin Haney beating Lomachenko. Oh my goodness. That type of conversation we have yet to have with Tank. And he's had 4 mega fights that were elite, that, like I'll quote Roy Jones. The issue with Tank Davis and the issue that Roy Jones had with Floyd Mayweather, he felt that Floyd Mayweather wasn't fighting people that were truly on the level of Floyd at the time that he fought him. When he did fight big names, these are Roy Jones's words. He fought them at the right time when they weren't at the top of their game, when they were older. Oscar De La Hoya, when it was slower. Manny Pacquiao, 6 years down the line. Again, Roy Jones, quoting or paraphrasing Roy Jones. When people were at their best, he talked about this with Andre Ward. I believe it was Andre Ward. Or somebody, he talked about somebody. But at their best, when they were at the top of the top, and they were seen in the same vicinity, the same oval as Floyd in the divisions, he didn't face off against her. And that was something he was like, it's not that type of undeniable, this brother is a bad dude in this type of sense. Like we see with Shakur right now, he beat the best version of Tia with no qualms at all. Going up to his weight class when Tio stood at the top of his game, looking like Tio's got everything going for him. Defended his belt 3 times, was undisputedly the king in that division, and was top 10 in the world, and you went up against him and you wiped him out with no excuses. Had to but apologize for racism. You beat him so bad. That type of, it's something different. That's what we didn't get from Tank. That's what Roy felt we didn't get from Floyd. Now, whether you want to argue with Roy Jones Jr. on his position, no problem. But the sentiment is similar for Tank Davis. That does not mean that he's not great. And that does not mean there isn't time for him to grow. That does not mean that there isn't a way that this brother can go and still face off against all of those names. Doesn't mean that. It simply means that at this point in time, that caliber of competition, it is something he hasn't gotten in a year. And if he does, I would love to see it. Absolutely. I would love, and I think he would have a good shot. I do think he will lose to Shakur. But most others, hey, I would love to see how that would go. Absolutely. But let me see. Yes, Welch. I know some. Look, I'm glad you agree. Again, I'm just talking how I feel. You ain't gotta agree. I'm not trying to make you feel bad for how you feel. This is discourse. This is rhetoric. But this is the show that y'all help drive. So we want to have this conversation because it helps out immensely. I'm not gonna lie. That's how I feel about Boots and everyone hating Virgil, saying he's light work. And I understand. I absolutely understand. Especially with people, Boots said, again, standing on this, as great as he is, that's a great win. That's a great win, absolutely. Boots versus Virgil is the first fight that Virgil is in that same caliber, that same vicinity, that same oval of elite talent that we put Boots at. Boots beats him. With Virgil in his prime right now, that's that day. Look, that shuts everything up. That shuts everything up with what we've said, good and bad, about Boots Ennis. If that does happen, even if it's just a good fight outright, that shuts up a lot of noise because there's no, like that's quality. That's real quality. That's why we want to see Boots fight Virgil. That's why we want to see Boots go through undisputed, go against Boachuk, go against Majimov, go against Fundora, Keith Thurman, go against everybody at 154. Zayas, get them all. Because you're in a position where you can prove everything about you right here and now with no qualms going against you. But you just got to take that leap. That's the only thing. You just have to take that leap. And if you do, it'll be great. It will be phenomenal. I'm trying to make sure we got a lot of people chatting. I'm trying to make sure I can catch everything that we say. Let me see. We can't say it's okay for Shakur to fight Ryan with weight clause while saying it's wrong for Tank. That's hypocrisy. Again, I said, if you don't like Tank, if you don't like what Tank did, don't like what Shakur did. Absolutely. No issue. Ryan Garcia even said, I'll fight at a catch weight of 144. We can look at that fight. Now, I'll fight at a catch weight of 144. We can make that happen. Need be. If Shakur accepts that, And maybe, but the only way a weight clause would be acceptable to me was if Shakur took the catch weight and maybe a rehydration clause of maybe 10. Because he'll be fighting at around 147 by the time the weight came into play. That on Ryan, because he's already fighting just about at 147. And then already above the weight class where Shakur is already at. Yeah, don't want him getting at 180, sure, but it's still not a hindered Ryan Garcia. That's the only thing. Outside of that, yeah, you don't have to like the weight class. Absolutely, you don't gotta like it. You don't gotta like it at all. Let me see. That wasn't the best T.O. Nobody gave T.O. a fair chance to beat Shakur. Who? We did. I don't know who that we did. We were saying immensely that Teofimo Lopez at this point in time doesn't look to have any of the problems that he had going into the fights with Sando Martin, with Jermaine Ortiz, and even those struggles that he did have, looks like from the lifestyle that he's living, which has been better, more copacetic, excuse me, a lot more calm, without all the insane ire that he had to experience. Coupled with having the best performance of that night when the last time that all three, Ryan, Devin, and T.O. fought, it was like, okay, hey, of everybody right now, T.O. looks the best, most full capable at this point in time. And he earned the rhetoric of, this brother's the best at 140. He's fighting like Teofimo Lopez. He's fighting like the takeover that we used to know. Yeah, he ain't knocking people out, but he's still elusive, still got the great combinations. Everything looked like what it was supposed to be, with no hindrance going into this fight. And so, like, we were saying, this version of T.O., he beats him. My God, yeah, that's impressive, especially coming at the weight class. So I don't know who you may have been hearing that was saying that, but we were giving T.O. the respect that he deserved, because he did deserve it. We absolutely were. Let me see. What y'all got to say? The fight isn't happening though. So what's next for Boots? Should he fight Charlo? It seems like champions don't want to fight him at this point. Yeah, that's true. Not facts. We talking about how Tio was gonna win and he lost. Yeah, no, mind you. Remember, I picked Tio to win. Y'all forget I was wrong. I picked Tio to win. I picked Tio to win. I picked him to win. I picked him to win a very close split decision. And this brother got boxed the kingdom. I was the one that thought he was going to be able to take it. Because I said this brother is going to be athletic enough, have enough IQ, as well as have the flexibility in his offense to go through that impenetrable wall that is the all-seeing eyes of Shakur Stevenson. And he got beat up. He got beat up and outboxed. And I was like, dang, I was completely wrong. So again, maybe other people may have said that Tio doesn't have a chance. I understand it. I respect their opinion. I knew Tio had a shot. And that's why Shakur beating Tio in the way that he did put him at fourth in the world pound for pound. Because that was so impressive to me. Because Tio was that good of a talent. At least from my perspective. At least from my perspective. Let me see. But we do want to make sure we do discuss what was it? Boots. And we do want to make sure we talk about that real quick. In fact, let me go. Do I got a title card for that? Do I have a title card for that? I don't. So we're gonna go with straight up other sports topics. Boots, and it's off of this topic of conversation. If Virgil Ortiz is not going to happen, because again, nothing's confirmed, nothing's going down, or the Boots and Devin thing and all that stuff. Boots and Shakur. Right now, he ain't got nothing on the card. He's been called out by Charlo. Yes, if you didn't know, yet again, a wild Charlo appears in the world of boxing. And yet again, he is calling out one of the most destructive, gifted forces in this sport. Also, we got people coming in like Ryan Grace. What's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in to the show with us on today. We appreciate it oh so much. Let me see. Also, Isaiah, bad style matchup. Shakur is more skilled than T.O. That's why he lost. No, absolutely. Yeah, we know that now. We know that now. We know that now. Oh, absolutely. There is no doubt now who's better. Ain't no doubt about that. But again, going back to Bird's conversation, it kind of helps bleed into the other topics of the show. Charlo has called out Boots, and it's yet again trying to make a fight go through and trying to make something happen and something shake for the world of 154. Now, if we don't get Virgil Ortiz versus Boots, we don't get it happen. We got to be honest. As much speculation we've been saying, as much news we've been saying will break, nothing's been set in stone that it will actually be going through. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. And again, and I'll even play a clip of how Charlo has been talking about the whole division as a whole when it comes to him fighting the rest of 154. I'll let you see what his mindset is going into the 140-pound division as he looks to actually make his return into the world of boxing. You have to make sure y'all can see it, right? Okay, just trying to make sure y'all can see it. I'll play the whole clip to give you full context, and then we'll delve into Charlo versus Boots and the reality of that fight, in my estimation.
Because I think it was last.
Hold on, time out, real quick. I'm just trying to make sure y'all can see it. I'm just trying to make sure y'all can actually see the thing. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, y'all can see it. Y'all can't see it. Okay, we're good. All right, so let me play the clip, and then we'll come back to the conversation.
Listen, last year you had the lion biting the giraffe, which is Fundora. Mm-hmm. You had the shark, which is Eru, and then you had the boot, right? So everybody was getting hyped, like, Mel coming back for that. But now I've seen you calling people out. You haven't.
Who am I avoiding?
Yeah, I mean,
if I said I want action, y'all wait on me to speak. See, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You know, it's a lot of motherfuckers that didn't like me when I was at the top. I don't feel like I'm not at the top, but it's people that's claiming the throne, and then they got these other people giving it to them.
Yeah.
I'm the best fighter at 154. I really believe it. I stand by it. I don't think no one has like the power, the adrenaline to really like win it at this division.
And again, there's more clips with Charlo, but I chose that one specifically because what's interesting, what he said, again, the one big phrase in that whole conversation, I don't know who's got the adrenaline to reign at the top, as well as essentially who am I ducking, who am I avoiding, who am I not trying to fight in this division of boxing? Who am I not? This is where I reign. This is where I was undisputed here. Who am I trying to avoid? Well, see, here's the problem. What you're avoiding, it's not a fighter, it's the sport itself. You got to understand the whole rhetoric behind the ire of Charlo is Charlo. It's Charlo. I would love to see Charlo black, but I would love to see Charlo come back. I'm glad that Jamal Charlo is back at 168, and potentially rumor, speculation, real quick, if you didn't know, speculatively we're hearing that Jamal Charlo is gonna fight against Resendez at 168, the same buddy who fought and beat Caleb Plant years after that potential matchup between Plant and Charlo was going to take place. And we thought it was going to be that we would see Resendez get Charlo immediately afterwards. Took a minute, but we're finally going to get there. It looks like that's the case, which I'm glad to see. Great. I am happy to see the Charlos come back. I have no issue with that. What we have an issue with, though, from Jamel is Jamel. Jamel Charlo is the biggest problem because you have been ducking competition because you ain't been fighting. We can't trust you we can have you as a favorite. Oh, you can beat Virgil Ortiz, you can beat Boots Ennis, you can beat Fundora, Keith Thurman, Madrimov, Boachuk, Adams, you can beat anybody at this event. Xander Zayas, shoot, Devin Haney, now that he's talking about coming up to 154, we got to talk about him now. We can't say you can beat all this stuff. We can't, because we don't know what you are, because you haven't shown us anything to trust since you laid down and died to Canelo Alvarez. Because that's what you did. The last time we saw you against competent, elite level competition, we it was one man that reigned against the show. Yes, you stepped up in weight. Yes, you were fighting at 168. Yes, it's Canelo, but you didn't even try against Canelo. You did not even try. What makes us have the faith that with the division that since you left has gotten even stiffer with competition, danger, and rhetoric? What gives us the right, or rather, what doesn't give us the right to look at you and say, you know what, Charlo, I don't trust you in the same way. I don't know if you still got it like that, because I haven't seen you have it in 3 years. We even saw Keith Thurman come back even against Jarvis and have some semblance of, okay, there's still something left in the tank that we can see him fight against. We even saw Pacquiao, though it's not the same division, Pacquiao came back, and at least though it was a very lofty goal, he at least showed us, okay, there's still something left in you. Charlo, we've been seeing you train and talk more than we've seen you get active. And most of the time it's with pads. I've seen maybe 2 or 3 sparring sessions within 3 years against actual competition. I don't know what you are. I love the confidence, but don't act like that you are a walk-in savant. Or rather, not savant, because you are a good boxer. Don't act like you are the end-all, be-all at a division that we keep it unbiased on this show. This division has passed you by when it comes to you being the big kahuna, the biggest fish, not to take away from Errol Spence Jr. Oh, let's not forget, Errol Spence is back. Hey, we forgot that's also a thing in this division. We don't know what the world you're going to be with this not even hodgepodge, with this cauldron of talent ranging from every spectrum of great elite to bad, with a lot of them ain't being bad. Mind you, Errol Spence is outside of even the top 20 from the perspective of talent at this division, and that's bad. From 1 to 10, it's straight up work. 1 to 10 is work, and Errol Spence coming back ain't even in that number. What makes us think that you should be above him? What makes us think you should be above him? Because at least he got beat by Crawford. But you got beat by Canelo, who got beat by Crawford with the same parameters. That could have been you potentially. You think I'm going to trust you against Boots Ennis? Virgil Ortiz? A 6'5" Sebastian Fundora, and you were already walking backwards against a smaller Canelo from the standpoint of height? My gosh. It's scary out here. And yet, you are talking a whole bunch, but I'm not going to lie, behind the scenes, though I don't know the behind the scenes talk, though I don't know the behind the scenes rhetoric, though I am not going to act like I'm up there on the food chain of any sorts when it comes to business negotiations behind the scenes of doors, or of closed doors. The business of boxing is murky. It can be corrupt. It can be a bunch of mess. I understand. There are plenty of people that have better information than that than me, which I would advise you to please go and look up, absolutely. But from what I can see, from my quote-unquote very narrow perspective, compared to other people, you are talking a whole bunch, but at the same breath, I don't see you moving in the way outside of bloviating and puffing out your chest to get the work done, to make it. Hey, we sent a contract. I want a negotiation. We got XYZ as a date. We're going to try to talk to somebody, and hopefully it goes down, because I want to get the fight. How, again, understand. I say this in this type of rhetoric because we just saw Errol Spence Jr. in his first, when he fully committed to coming back. Fully committed to coming back. When I said he would never do it, he started talks with Tim Sue. It got done within the month. Charlo, you've been talking for 3 years and you haven't gotten a fight yet. But at some point in time, it ain't the rest of the world that's stopping. It's you. At some point. And so it really is frustrating. He really punch. Let me see. Ryan Graves, Boots is gonna beat up Charlo, but I don't think he stops him. I think he stops. I think he stops him. Cause I'm telling you, unlike Canelo, Boots ain't gonna be just letting you walk away. He ain't gonna let you get away if he got you getting ready to get finished and getting put down on the mat. You ain't gonna be able to just survive. You ain't gonna be like that. I don't know. You getting put down, and I promise you, Charlo is gonna have. He fights Boots. He's gonna have years. He's gonna have more years ripped away from his career at this point in time. He calling out a lot of big fish, but I'm telling you right now, Boots is the one guy you don't, as your first fight, you want to stay away. As your second fight, you want to stay, until you get 3 fights under your belt of consistent work. I mean consistent good work. You don't want to face Boots at all. I promise you. I promise you, because you can come back at 35 and you'll be done by 37 because you will have years stripped off of you if you fight against Boots. I guarantee you. This Charlo is not ready. He ain't. Yeah, I do not believe it. I don't believe it. Lil Charlo Captain, I got sources in Philly who know people in Philly. They reached out to Lil Charlo and he turned it down. And he wants a tune-up before Boots. Hey, I'm down for it. Now, understand, if this is true, great. Appreciate the information. But I'm down for tune-ups now. I have no issue with that, especially at the long layoffs. I am all for tune-ups. I didn't even want Errol Spence to fight against Tim Tszyu. I wanted him to fight against somebody worse than Tim Tszyu because I don't know what he looks like. A tune-up is not supposed to be a good quality scrap. It's supposed to be it's a gimme fight because you're trying to get back in the world of momentum and ring rust to where it's no longer rust. It's just you're operating like it's supposed to. Shake it off of you. That's what you're trying to do. I don't want you fighting any sort of stiff competition. I just want you getting a feel. How's the jab feeling? Huh? How's your power punch? Can you take a shot of any amount from anybody? Is the stamina still there? Does it need to be working on? Are you in tune with some of the movements that you used to be able to do? Is your game plan able to still be your game plan to fight like you know you can fight? I'm all for tune-ups. I am. Charlie better take a couple of them. Because at this division, everybody can't do it like that. Everybody can't do that. Let me see. My bad, Bomac bought some chicken. See, y'all can't be doing that to Bomac. I love Bomac. Y'all can't be doing that to Bomac. My bad, bought some chicken. Oh, Papa, he was eating and shit now, man. Hey, look, tell him to send me a piece. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, if he got connected to sponsorships, hey, tell him, put me on. I love that. We'll have sticking the logo. We'll be wearing orange and yellow. We'll do it all. I'm just trying to get some paper right now. And I ain't compromising myself now. Like I said now, I ain't shucking and jiving. But hey, I'm down for providing for the people if need be. Put me on. Put me on if you can. But let me see. Charlie from Texas. Why would he work at Philly? If he had a trainer at all times, that's cap for sure. Most likely. But whatever the case may be, we just want Charlo to be a viable threat to come back. We want him to be an actual name that can be a competitor for Boots. That can get Virgil Ortiz in trouble. Shoot. Him and Majimov. If I could say that was a good fight, I would be ecstatic. Because you will belong within that other pantheon of top 10 real threat caliber. But you just don't at this point in time. No matter what your resume says. Because at this point in time, your resume is not saving you from the reality of what you are. Which is an uncertainty. You are an uncertainty. This does not mean that you can't fight. But you can't look at us and say that we're counting you out when you haven't given us something to count on at all. At all. The same thing with Errol Spence Jr., but at least with Errol Spence, in the last time we saw him, we don't have questions about his heart. That's the thing. That's really what it comes down to. I can't trust Charlo because I can't trust his heart. Strictly because when you had the biggest moment of your life, you quit. You succumbed. Not even succumbed to like you got beat. You succumbed and you let yourself say, yeah, I'm not going to do anything. Spence went out. He went out doing everything he could. He got countered. He got beat up and he still went through. He still said, I'm going to try. We never question the heart of Errol Spence Jr., nor will we ever. Nor should we ever. But you was a different story. You coming back, we can't trust what you are right now. And I don't like that that's the fact, but that's the fact nonetheless. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't be saying it. But that's why I don't want you talking like this. Could you set yourself up? And you set yourself up, and it's bad. It's bad. And again, mind you, real quick, Isaiah, sources, we take everything at face value. If it gets confirmed later on, I appreciate it. We had no look, trust me, I don't trust. When it comes to sources, some people may joke, some people may be real. Y'all remember MS came through here and he broke the news about Benavidez fighting Zerto well before that fight actually happened. And lo and behold, it happened almost to the letter that he said it. So I ain't taking nobody's sources for granted. Trust me, we take everything with a proper grain of salt, but we know it can be reality. This may be true. This may actually be true. I am not taking anything. Wait a minute, I am strictly just here to be a muse. Or right now, muse is the wrong word. I'm strictly here to be a purveyor of said source and or speculation and or topic of debate. That's all. If it's wrong, it's no problem. If it's right, great. But we're just trying to get to, like I said, we're trying to make the best show we can be. But we're not trying to hate or stagnate on people and what they got or what they got to say. Complete. We're not trying to make this happen right. I promise. That's what we're trying to do. But let me keep on reading what you all had to say. Welch, what do you think about Lester Martinez versus Emmanuel Amel? I didn't know that fight got made. I'm not gonna. I did not know that fight got made. I was lost in the sauce of the rest of this division. From the standpoint of 168, what could be going on with the Canelo coming back and all that stuff with, again, 154 and all that stuff. So got a little bit lost, especially with and Billy and Shiraz reportedly were going to fight each other. And now I think that's still happening. I'm not exactly sure if that's happening or not, but regardless of which, Lester Martinez coming back is very exciting. I believe it's still with Bomac. They can improve off that performance that he had against Billy. From the last time we saw him out. Ooh, that can be exciting. Ooh, that can be really exciting. I dare say he can be a top. Lester Martinez has the chops to be able to be a top 3 fighter in this division. In my opinion. He does. He does. If he can reach the fullest potential, good gosh, man, this division he could have some real positions for titles. I think he's going to win. I do think he's going to win and beat Amel. Or Aleem, excuse me, Aleem. Not Amel, Aleem, my apologies. I do think he's going to beat him. But I would like to see him improve on, not just the countering, which again was already good against Billy, but the dealing with pressure. If Aleem is a pressure fighter, which I don't know, I'm not sure about Aleem all that much, but if he is a pressure fighter, in the same sense that we saw in Billy, or in a similar way, being able to quell that storm a little bit more decisively. If I can see that take place, hey, we got ourselves a real threat to make, which I'm happy for. I'm very happy for it. I can't wait to see it. Absolutely. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure I'm trying to read everybody's chats so we can keep on talking to it. We're talking about Greg Hatchett. We're talking about sources of news. Look, like I said, I'm not trying to dissuade anybody and their sources. Be clear. Be clear. With everything I report, I try to keep it with as much of a concrete truth as possible. And anything that's speculative, I hope it's true. If it is true. If it's not true, no problem. We don't need to get disrespectful. We're trying to go through and be dismissive of what some people say or don't say. We trying to have some good discourse. At least that's the environment I'm trying to make. No shade to anybody. Please. No shade to anybody. Because it can get real ugly real quick. Good gosh, I remember, Lord, it can get bad real quick in this chat. So we try to stay away from that if we can. But even still, We do have more stuff that we can't cover on this show. Like, if we want to stick with Boots, we can stick with Boots and talk about it there. Shoot, we can talk. I dare say, a good topic of discussion, if we want to delve into something else, would be a potential fight with Boots and the potential guy who's trying to go and fight Xander Zayas in Devin Haney. I would love to hear you all's thoughts on the idea of if Devin Haney did go up to 154, and if he did beat Xander Zayas for the unified titles, who apparently he's been calling out later on this year, and we got a fight with Boots versus Virgil Ortiz, or Boots or Virgil Ortiz, is there any way that you think he could win? Because mind you, I've said he's good enough that from 147 to 140, nobody beats him in my opinion, except for Shakur Stevenson. Vice versa, from 135 to 147, nobody beats Shakur in my opinion, except for potentially Devin Haney. I'm more inclined to think that Devin Haney would lose to Shakur, in my opinion. But either way, the best matchup for each other are those two at 147. Once he gets beyond that, could Devin Haney really compete at 154 pounds to still be able to beat those types of monsters? That's the thing. Would he be able to beat it? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Listen, we good. I don't take a person. Remember this over screen. Look, it's over screen. We ain't. We try to keep it. No. I'll say this. Some of these other chats, they be getting dirty. I mean, they get real dirty. I mean, my gosh, my goodness, Lord, I don't know how. Some of these, again, quick side. We're not trying to beat a dead horse, but some of these chats that I be seeing, watching some of the and studying the other predominant quality entertainers on this social media platform. I'm trying to get better. Like I said, I study other shows like I study film because I'm trying to be the best I can be. But I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they get to that point. I mean, my gosh, you got people talking about your mama, your sister, your brother, your uncle, throwing shade left, right, and center, saying meet me outside. You know, like, wait a minute, what? How did it get there? Lord, I did not realize that that it could get this much of a volatile minefield when dealing. I'm talking about to that degree when dealing with chats. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is shocking, to say the least. Not saying that I didn't know it could get there, but just dealing with it. Oh Lord, my gosh, that's why I'm trying to keep it as I love the debate. I love the rhetoric. But we try to keep it as distractible as possible because I know quick and in a hurry, it can go left, it can go right, and it can be, next thing you know, this chat's blowing up with everybody saying, yo, we got war. We got, good gosh, our Lord, my goodness, we got war. And I done lost control. Y'all ain't even listening to a word I said. Y'all just going straight and chat at each other. I've seen one chat. I think I saw one chat. Was it Showbiz or was it who was it? There was some live streamer that was talking boxing, and I think it was Terrence Crawford. And it went from, I think it was Terrence Crawford and Canelo. It went from legit great discussion, people giving questions in chat. Somebody said something, I don't know what. And I'm talking about that chat went 100 miles an hour real quick. And it went from no fighting to straight up, yo, I'm going to meet you where you are. We're going at it. But when I catch you, I'm putting you in the dirt. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What the world? What the world caused this? Like, my gosh. So it can speed up real quick. So I try to make it as inviting as possible so you all can enjoy without the stress of I might have to strap up and we gotta lock in. Oh Lord, oh man! But again, I do enjoy the discourse. I do enjoy it so much, and all of it is good. All of it's good. We try to keep it, keep it within the vein. We just try to keep within the vein on this show. That's what we try to do. But regardless of which, even still, what was I saying? Devin Haney, Shakur, no, I'm sorry. Devin Haney, 154. Could he compete at the highest level if he got to the division? Would he be able to beat Boots or Verge or even Fundora? If he did move up, I would say no. But again, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on that. One more thing when it came to the interviews with Cigar Talk, if I can find it real quick. Where's that? Where is it at? Shoot, there was a clip I wanted to play. Hold on, there was a clip I wanted to play. What is it? Hold on. Wait a minute. Is it here? Dang it, it's not here. Shoot. I had a quality clip I was going to play for one of the topics, and I cannot find it. We'll adapt and move on. It's all good. No problem at all. Somebody actually chatted in the chat real quick. Let me actually read this real quick. Let me see. Can't get serious, but it should never be that way. People don't play about boxing. And you're right. And here's the thing about boxing. It's such a, I mean, you got other fandom as well, especially soccer. Good gosh. Or football, as it's properly called. Good gosh. They get active over there. Absolutely. But like, there is I think the reason why this happens sometimes, not saying you all, but just as a discussion on the environment and atmosphere of the sport, fans aren't just fickle. They are indeed very much attached to their fighter, especially nowadays. Again, we've talked about it before. It's not the favorite. It's not the sport that a lot of people love. It's the fighter. One specific fighter that everybody loves or you're a fan of that you then want to go through and beat, not to be a part of, but like you some people vicariously live through them. Others is just a dogged support, like tribalism, which again we've seen it over in soccer. I'm not trying to diminish it, but I am saying that type of identity or attachment leads to a very volatile reaction when it comes to people going against or bringing up topics, because it's almost a sense of tribalism to some degree. Because I got to defend my turf. This is my flag. Shoot, in the NBA, you got people doing it with Kobe. Michael Jordan, old heads all day, defending Michael Jordan like it's their dad. LeBron, defending him to the day that they die. Kobe, you speak on Kobe in any way, but you're liable to get slapped straight up because they don't play. The fandom is attached. Not even the fandom. The player is a part of you, which I understand. I'm not trying to go and say that's bad, because again, this is what makes sports so great. You witnessing somebody be great, living and watching their career, makes you like this is at this is why people Anthony Joshua. There are people with Anthony Joshua over in the UK, but that was there. Like, oh my gosh, this is my guy. Manny Pacquiao, this is my guy. Floyd Mayweather. Part of the reason why people love Floyd Mayweather so much, and he's the GOAT, was because in part they were living through the bullet. They watched him go and be undefeated all this time. I don't even say it for wrestling. My favorite wrestler is The Undertaker. Straight up. Watching him when I was growing up, even now as an adult, when got to see him retire, was so impactful because every accomplishment that he was doing, I lived through the entire WrestleMania saga. Well, not the entire, but when I found out about this, that entire undefeated streak, when he got beat by Brock, my gosh, I felt away. I felt like one of my family members died. I still can't watch the match to this day. Why? Because that attachment I feel, I am a part of that career. Listen to what it feels like. That isn't just somebody. That is a beacon of sorts. Even the likes of Tank Davis. For a lot of people, this fandom isn't just because he is a popular star, though he is. But the identity of him, you can latch onto. Mike Tyson, same thing. The identity of the baddest man on the planet. Iron Mike, the killer, the monster. People were afraid of him, yet they could not, not look away. They could not help but gravitate toward him because he was that foundational staple for many. There's a reason why people, when he retired or when he started, you can see, okay, yeah, his career is getting ready to end. People just stop watching boxing. Ali, y'all forget. People stop watching. There were people that stopped watching boxing when Ali retired. Larry Holmes took up the torch and went 23. What was it? 23 championship wins. One of the longest reigning and greatest heavyweight champions in history. Competed all the way into the late 90s with Ray Mercer and Mike Tyson. And yet people just fell off. Why? Because the attachment to Ali was something that it wasn't just a fighter. This is a part of me. He and his legacy, his career, is a part of me. LeBron, he's getting ready to retire. Most likely next year is going to be his last year. There are people that are going to cry when he leaves. Why? Because of the fact that they didn't just live through him. He represented an aspect of them, greatness, as well as all around. It's almost an unspoken X factor of not familiarity, but like you are a part of my life in a way that when you go, a part of me feels like it's going as well. Not from a not from like a questionable standpoint, but from like an era, a moment in time, a evolution to some degree. Or in some ways, it's like you lose a part of you. This point in time, I gotta let go. He represents a new era that when he leaves this part of my life, now the chapter's turning. The page is turning for a lot of people. When Michael Jordan left, it was like, my gosh, I'm not 12 or 14 or 16. I'm 23 now and he's retired. When LeBron leaves, I watched him when I was in middle school. Mind you, Cleveland to Atlanta. Cleveland to Miami. I saw the entire stock. Cleveland, 07 when he came into the league. 2003, when he went to the finals in 07. When he averaged 35 against Orlando in 09. When he beat Detroit, scoring 25 straight. Championships with Miami, all that. I saw it all. And when that goes, there's going to be, it's the end of a portion of my position in life, or a signifier of it's time for a new page to some degree, because now this foundation isn't there, or this staple, this beacon of sorts, not there. It's not bad, but it's a call for change. It's a call for change. And that's part of the reason why we see people attach themselves to these fighters so much. Canelo, you got people ranting and raving about Canelo. He deserves the legacy. He deserves the respect. But you got people to the day they die. Ain't nobody better than Canelo. Why? Because he represents a portion of me. He does. And it can get that volatile real quick. It really can. So I don't look at people bad when they go on that type of fandom. I can say it shouldn't be that type of way in certain regards, but I understand it completely. I get it. Because that happened to me. That's me. I've done it. I'm still doing it. As much as I'm a pundit, I'm a fan. We're all fans about it. So I completely understand it. Absolutely. But we got more. We can actually go and transition over into the world of the championship rounds real quick. So actually, without further ado, hey, we're at the last, we're at the 2-hour mark. We're at the last hour of the show, or the half hour of the show. So we're going to go to the championship rounds right here, right now. Yes, indeed. 30 minutes to an hour. Let's see what you got to say. Whatever you want to discuss until 2 hours, 30 minutes, we got you. Movies, sports, television, video games, all that stuff is all at your disposal. NBA, NFL, boxing, other topics of discussion that we didn't get to talk about. We want to hear from you on everything involving the world of sports. So get your chats in, get your stuff up, leave a like on the video, keep on sharing the show, and let's jump into it, shall we? Come on, let's see what y'all got to say on today. Let's see what the world has to say on today. Let me also make sure that my stuff is paused. So again, I don't want y'all hearing stuff beyond what I'm discussing. If you did not know as well, we have some very, you could argue some very tragic news in the world of boxing. Yes, again, also rest in peace to Jesse, I believe it's Jesse Jackson, who sadly passed away earlier, 4 o'clock this morning. Actually, my goodness, incredible man, incredible life. Rest in peace to him. Incredible civil rights activist, and who helped just paved the way for people like you and me, minorities across the globe and across the states, to be able to thrive and be, not just have opportunity, but just to be able to fight the oppressive system that was here in America. We appreciate it. We love his legacy, and we will continue to flourish and shine. But even beyond that, there's another very tragic thing that's going on in the world of boxing, and that is the noise of a new fight that's getting announced. If you did not know, it might just blow your socks off. But hey, we lo and behold, we're here now. I'll let Mike Carpenter break the news to you.
We heard about it a couple of months ago. There was an announcement with no details. I started to wonder if it was even going to happen. Then we started hearing about Mayweather and Pacquiao maybe. Now I'm told that it is happening, this Mayweather-Mike Tyson exhibition, and that it's going to happen April 25th in Congo. That's the plan right now.
In the Congo? Wait, is Don King part of this? It's in the Congo?
Let's bring him back, right?
Hey, let my people go, baby. Let's get it.
We have but it's arguably the two biggest names of the last, 50 years in boxing? We heard about it a couple.
This, again, if you're just tuning in, Mike Carpenter just broke the news on Inside the Ring. Yes, it's true. Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. It's not just a rumor now. It's real. It's going down on the 25th of April in the Congo. My gosh. My goodness. Why in the world is this that? Mind you, if you didn't know, Mike Tyson is 59. Mike Tyson is 59 years old as of today. Floyd Mayweather is 49. This is a 10-year age gap. Literally different generations. And it shouldn't happen. Jake Paul, at minimum, showed y'all this should not be the case. Mike Tyson even said himself in an interview after the fight, questioning, why in the world did I do this? I'm too old for this. He said that. Now, again, Mike Tyson despises Floyd Mayweather. He despises the hate that Floyd had for Muhammad Ali. He despises a bunch of aspects in life. Called him a small man because of the way he treats his career and he treats the greats of the past. He does not like this cat. That does not mean he should fight him. If this was, prime for prime, yeah, Mike Tyson knocks him out because it's Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, he's not beating 210, 215 prime Mike. Yes, because it's heavyweight. Now, it shouldn't be the case because Tyson's 60. Why is this? See, this is what the problem with the sport. Every single time, this sport does not know when to say no. Boxing does not know when to say no. That's the issue. That's the biggest part. Boxing does not know when to say no, and this is going to be traumatic in the worst way possible. Again, if you didn't know, this is going down. Tyson and Floyd is officially confirmed, and it should not happen in the slightest. This is nothing but a cash grab, and everybody involved in this should be ashamed of themselves. Everybody, because this should not happen. Tyson has no business in any ring with anybody at any point in time. He is too old. He can't. Even somebody as genetically gifted as him cannot outlast Father Time. He's been in Holyfield. Has not been in the ring since Victor Belfort. Though Belfort was juiced to the gills on drugs, he still got whooped in terms of Holyfield. And he hasn't been back in the ring since. And he shouldn't be. And he's in phenomenal shape. It shouldn't. My gosh, the fact this is happening. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh Lord. Hey, Bird, you right, man. This is horrible. This is terrible. This is a business. Sally had to break that news to you, but that is going down, and it's a shame. Let me see. I think Haney should stick to 147 or fight Keyshawn. From the looks of it, it looks like he is ducking. I hope not. Even again, we need to play a clip earlier in the show talking about Keyshawn Davis searching out the likes of of where's it? Searching out the likes of Devin Haney. Again, he's when we talk about Keyshawn on the prowl, he says he thinks that he's ducking him in terms of he thinks that Devin Haney's ducking him, and he right now he's moving like it. And also by the way, excuse the language. If there's any language that's in this clip, I do apologize. We're trying to be brand friendly and friendly. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Give us some money. Sponsors, we're trying to be clean. Here's just a quick side note.
Man, where Devin? Where Debo at? So-called Debo. Where Devin at? Where Debo? You ain't see him? He hiding from me. Hot man. Debo! Hey, Debo! Where the hell you at, man? What you doing? Hey, where's Debo? We looking for you. We on the block. Debo got hit with a brick. Y'all already know how I'm coming. Yeah. Debo, where you at? He scared this brick.
Now, I will say, I didn't know that there was music in the background, so Lord knows I hope I don't get copyrighted. But even still, that he's searching them out. He's trying to get them. And I do like that Keyshawn is applying this type of pressure. You can say Devin's going to beat him. Fine. You can feel that Devin will be able to be a better boxer and take him out. Use that jab, use that movement, use that speed, and also use that deceptively large frame and make it so that Keyshawn is in over his head. Fine. But that does not mean at all that the way Devin Haney is moving right now is not questionable, to say the least. When it comes to looking at the competition that he should be fighting, especially when monetarily and from a talent perspective, it makes all the sense in the world. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? I would. And so applying this type of pressure is perfect because it puts Devin Haney in a position to where you have to answer the call. There's enough video evidence. There's enough face-to-face interaction. There's enough verbal contracts that the public can pull up and say, hey, brother, you said you wanted this type of smoke. You said you were going to give him this type of fight. And now you're going against somebody else, even though it's at a higher division, which I can respect. That does not mean that it should be in the position that you're doing it over. Rather, that does not mean that it gives you as much of a pass when you knew that this is what was coming up to you. And he already accomplished the goal of what you're doing. Again, this will be like anyway. I said this at the start of the show. Be like anyway. With Nakatani here at 122, he then said, you know what? I'm moving up to 126. Now, we appreciate the challenge, but we also knew we've been waiting on this fight for 4 years. And you now say, I'm moving up now. Doesn't look great, though the aspects of achieving greatness, we understand. And we won't diminish trying to go and fight at a higher division. But the test that you said you'd be able to handle, now all of a sudden you're not trying to handle it. People are going to look at it strange. They will. Let me see. Teachings. What's going on, brother? PBS, thank you for tuning in. So glad that you're here with us on today. Jesse Jackson was also a great football player at oh, shoot. He played football? I didn't know that. I did not know he played football at A&T. I did not know he played football at A&T. That is interesting. That is very interesting. I did not know that. See, you learn something new every day. I hate that he died during Black History Month, but this is a great time to see a lot of the other intricacies of the greats that have helped pave the way going forward in this country. I appreciate it, absolutely. It's like, the more you know, the more you learn. I appreciate you teaching me something new. No question about it. And again, rest in peace to him, a phenomenal person who has done so much stuff, and stuff I'm even finding out as time goes on, which again, hey, credit, more than just credit to him. Inspiration, no question about it. But let me see what you had to say. We still got more stuff that we can cover. Like what, if you didn't know, off the backs of a vaunted return of Tyson Fury. Yes, indeed, the Gypsy King coming back into the world of boxing. We now have confirmation that this brother's coming out. Who is this training team going to be? Wait a minute. We've been wanting to see who in the world is going to train the likes of Tyson Fury in his return against Makhmudov later on this year. Well, the answer is clear and simple, and that is no one. Apparently, nobody is training Tyson Fury for his comeback fight going up against Makhmudov. Are you serious? What type of mess is this? I'm shocked. I'm appalled. I don't know why is this sentiment going forward. In fact, I will even let him tell you. If I should be able to. I should have a clip up here. Here we go. I will let him explain why apparently Tyson Fury does not have a training camp this year for Makhmudov. He's literally going into this fight by himself. I'll let him tell you why.
Well, on the training team, in terms of who will be in your corner come fight night, your dad is going to be around and he's going to be there. But they did say on the top table you might be adding to your team. Can you give us any more insight into that?
I'm like Club Alone. I'm going to train alone.
Train alone for this one, and that is the plan.
I'm going to train alone.
Well, he's been through it so many times, he knows what to do.
Is that how you feel?
I know how to do it. I know how to go 12 rounds. I know how to push myself when I need to. I don't know how to take a rest when I need to.
Just a word as well.
Again, in a shocking development, very shocking indeed, Tyson Fury is going in this long. Now, I'll say, how do we say this? Against Makhmudov, I trust him to be by himself as a trainer. I will be the first to say. I'll be perfectly honest. Now, it's not because I'm disrespecting Makhmudov, but Makhmudov is a perfect fighter for Tyson Fury to come back against and beat with ease. Makhmudov is not a great fleet-footed fighter. Makhmudov gasses out very easily. Makhmudov is a power puncher, absolutely, but defense is in the gutter. He's going to get jabbed and picked apart to keep him come. He won't be able to close that distance and reach. He's going to be lunging in with overhands and straights. And he's going to get countered and caught consistently. Tyson Fury, even with the limited movement that we see Tyson Fury have now throughout his career, he's going to be able to move easily against Makhmudov. If Allen can come through and beat up the likes of Makhmudov, I know for a fact that a 6'6", 6'7" Tyson Fury can come through and take him out absolutely. And Makhmudov is a big dude, don't get me wrong. But he's not going to be able to do that. He's not going to be able to deal with it. He's an entertaining fighter. He's a powerful fighter. But he's got too many holes. Tyson Fury, in my opinion, he can beat him by himself. However, I still don't think that's a good thing to do. Because at this point in time, off of he fought in 2023, off of an almost 3-year layoff. End of the year this year will be 3 years. If, in fact, this fight gets postponed. 2.5 years at minimum by the time this fight takes place. Tyson Fury, as a boxer, you, at this age and at this stage in your physical ability, you don't have the luxury to not continue to have people working with the style to make it so that you don't run out of the weapons that you have left. Even though you probably know what you're doing. Even though, sure, you can go through the motions. The refinement at this age is something that cannot be ignored. You can't ignore the defined details that another eye can give you, that a guiding light and the coach can give you. The guiding light and the coach will give you if they're a good coach. I don't think you should get away from putting the trainer even for this camp. I don't. You can do it for this fight. I don't think you should do it for this fight. Because if you want to get back and fight Tyson Usyk, or not Tyson Fury, if you want to get back to the mountaintop and fight Usyk, if you want to get back to that road of redemption, getting that third trilogy to make it possible to get your revenge, you can't afford to go away from having people around you that can help refine you one last time. You can't. You can't. Especially with you being, most likely now your legs are going to be almost completely gone. That Kronk gym style, getting even more honed in on that. It's probably going to be the best way you can get back up that mountain. You doing it by yourself, as much as I know you probably know your stuff, that ain't going to be what you need. I think this is going to, he can do it now, but I think it's going to hurt him in the long run. I strongly feel that is going to hurt him in the long run. That is going to bite him in the butt as time goes on. In the long run of this fight with Makhmudov. Afterwards, he can't afford to do it. And even with that being the training camp, most likely next fight is going to have a coach, but it's might be too late. Because he might make some habits training by himself that he won't be able to get out of training when he gets a coach. Potentially. It's a dangerous thing. Clubber Lang was a movie. I'm not saying there have been fighters that have been able to train themselves. There have. Or there has been, excuse me. But there's a reason why everybody's got a coach. There's a reason. There's a reason why Anthony Yard needs a better coach. Because his own coach said, I can't teach him anything. He knows everything. He's teaching me stuff. Well, guess what? He ain't teaching enough stuff because he got knocked out by Benavidez and got beat to Kingdom Come. Dominated in that fight. Knocked out by Artur Beterbiev. Knocked out by Kovalev. If he didn't need to learn anything, he wouldn't have lost those fights. Yes, competent competition. Yes, elite caliber. But this is why you need somebody that can push you to be better. Because you now see Anthony Yard stagnated yet again when he was in a position to elevate himself. Because he had nothing to learn. Tyson Fury, don't make that same mistake. Because if you do, boy, it's going to be a bad thing. In the long run, it's going to be a bad time. In the long run, it's going to hurt you. Hurt you bad. And I don't want that to be the case, but Lord knows it can happen. Absolutely. But real quick, is there anything else anybody wants to discuss in the world of sports? It's still the championship rounds. We can still talk about the whole of conversation. We can still talk about the whole of sports. Honestly, the sports happening straight up on anything you all would like to discuss. Again, we still talk about boxing and beyond. It's still the NBA. It's still the NFL. Still sports, movies, television, video games, all that stuff. We can discuss it. Absolutely. If you also want to talk about, All-Star Weekend just happened this past week. Hey, I'm going to tell you this right now. The dunk contest stunk from the standpoint of Johnson won. Caden Johnson won. Went up against, Castle? Had some good dunks between the two, but again, Castle kind of wet the bed in that last dunk, getting overly anxious because he couldn't get that same double lob off. But even still, dunk contest, wasn't really that great, even though there was some decent stuff in there. 3-point contest, David Lillard won it off of a torn ACL. Hey, if he's shooting like this right now, I can't wait till he comes back with Portland just to see how Dame Time is able to come fully healthy. I'm excited to see it. Again, 3-time champion of the 3-point contest. Only person to do that since Larry Bird. And Craig Hodges, one of the greatest 3-point shooters we've ever seen in this league. And now for the straight up big event, All-Star Weekend, old heads, young guns, Team World. Young guns take it, actually go through, and they win the All-Star Weekend as a whole. Anthony Edwards gets All-Star MVP. But this format finally got people talking of this was a competitive All-Star game. Granted, my gosh, can you believe it? I'm shocked. People were saying it's going to suck, let alone it was going to be worth watching. Next thing you know, audience came up. Kawhi Leonard was averaging, 35? He had, 35 and a quarter in one of the games that they were playing? Because I think it was a best of 3 or a tournament style. He had 35 and a quarter. De'Aaron Fox had a game winner. Scotty Barnes had a game winner over Victor Wembanyama. Team World, who looked like they had the best stacked roster of talent with Victor, with Nikola Jokic, with Luka Doncic, with, I think even SGA on that team as well, because I believe he's part of Team World. They got bounced. Insane. It had the intrigue. It had the fervor. Last game kind of fizzled out because of the fact that, hey, old heads like LeBron, like Kawhi, like KD, they just get legit. But the game itself was good. I think this format could work. Again, that's speaking fervently for me. I think this All-Star Weekend format could work. However, 2 things need to change. Rather, 1 thing needs to change. That is, it's 2 things. 1, if this All-Star Weekend or this All-Star game was a good game, then much of people discredit LeBron and saying you ruined All-Star Weekend. Why aren't y'all saying that he made it better? Because all of a sudden this was one of the highest rated All-Star Weekends we had seen. 87% higher viewership. for this game when people said it didn't matter. So if you're going to blame him, might as well give him the worthy praise if you saying it's all on him, which it's not. We need to stop that type of blame. What we need to do, take a page out of Anthony Edwards' book and say, hey, it ain't just the Americans or it ain't just the homegrown stars that don't care about the game. We care. Look at Jokic, Luka, a couple of European players, not trying to be, I'm not trying to be Kendrick Perkins. Be clear, I ain't being that brother. That brother's saying that they don't belong in the league. Good gosh, that's a whole nother conversation. They don't care about the All-Star game. They don't. Victor does. Some of them do, but the best of the best over in Europe, they don't when they play over here. That was apparent in this All-Star weekend. As a 3-game format, I am a fan of it. However, it doesn't have the same gravitas as the regular straight up East versus West. Most of the players were saying they wanted straight up East versus West All-Star game. The competitive fervor is there. It can be there. We saw LeBron playing hard. We saw De'Aaron Fox playing hard. We saw Victor Wembanyama going for everything under the sun, trying to make this thing work. If Giannis was out there, I guarantee you he was going to be playing hard as well. We now have evidence that people can say there is a caring nature for the All-Star weekend that can come through. It can. But now that it is foundationally there, give us the old format and either A, find a way to make it incentivized so you can keep on doing it, or, in all retrospective, let this fervor that this new era is trying to do, let it try to live it out. Let it try to live it out. Legitimately this time. There is an inkling of, okay, this can work. And the same conversations of people don't care, people don't want to make it matter, people aren't giving effort, this is supposed to be a showcase of the best that the league has to offer. You saw that the fervor can be there. It can. It really can. But at the same breath, media is also a big deterrent as to what this All-Star game, All-Star weekend, to a degree the rest of the season, feels like. It ain't just about the players. It's also about the ESPN, NBC, Stephen A. Smith, and anybody else of the like. Not calling out anybody just of no. I'm just naming names. But the whole, myself included, because apparently now I guess I'm part of this environment. At least I'm trying to be anyway, with sports pundits. But the talking against or downplaying the fervor. Mind you, Victor Wembanyama was incredibly upset that his team got knocked out and bounced from the tournament in this All-Star weekend. But I think there was a clip of him almost pushed to tears. And people, some pundits and some straight up fans, were clowning him for that. The issue with the All-Star weekend is not that the players don't care. It's that they can't win regardless. They can't win regardless. Just think about it. We've held stuff. I use LeBron as an example only because it's the most prominent thing to bring up as to why the bigger issue of the NBA season as well as the All-Star game is going about. LeBron is being blamed for the dunk contest not happening. They don't have stars in the league going and dunking. You have Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, all those people. Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter. Oh my gosh, where are the stars? But you forget that they were only rookies or third year when they got into the dunk contest. You also forget that he went on television and said, hey, I'm not a dunk contest dunker. I am an in-game dunker. I don't have that level of creativity or the ability to do that for dunk contests, but I am still one of the greatest dunkers of all time, and that is true. Both statements are true, but people just ignore it. Yet they blame him for why we don't get stars, even though we've had Orlando Aaron Gordon, who was a legit star, not a superstar, but a star in this league. Zach LaVine, who was seen as an actual star, not a superstar, but a star in this league. DeMar DeRozan, Donovan Mitchell. We've had names. Damian Lillard, John Wall. We've had names in the All-Star dunk contest. All-Star weekend. People say it's not competitive. Well, you forget, there was a game back in the 80s, 90s, 150 to 112. Most scores are cracking 140. Yes, we've had a lack of fervor in the All-Star game, but it's never been like something that has been oh so prominently bad. And don't let the foolishness of one or two great All-Star games like 01 or like Michael Jordan's All-Star game dissuade you from the fact that it's always been a circus of, hey, you can just do stuff because of the fact that it's supposed to be fun. Yes, we will love a great competitive game, and we've had some good competitive games. LeBron James hit the game winner when it was in Cleveland. I think a couple years before that, we had a pretty competitive All-Star game as well. When it was for the first, I think it was when the All-Star MVP got renamed to Kobe Bryant MVP. Everybody was excited for that. Everybody played hard for that. We've had some good games. We've had some good weekends. People just don't like the revisionist history because they only want to see the nostalgia, but not the reality. The reality is Michael Jordan didn't have, when he was a superstar in this league, he didn't play in the dunk contest. He didn't. Early on he did, but then afterwards, didn't do it no more. It's not, most of the stars today are not dunkers. We forget that. And those who are dunkers, they already did it. Donovan Mitchell, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, Damian Lillard, Paul George, Dwight Howard, though, again, going back a little bit further, but you get what I'm saying. We've had this done, but it was when they were early. The issue is not stars. The issue is recognizable names. Most of the up-and-coming young people, outside of Ja and Zion Williamson, guess what? They're not dunkers. This is a three-point shooting league for a reason. Why? Because most people, they ain't dunking like that. Most of the most athletic people aren't coming off the bench. Because you ain't seeing Steph in the dunk contest. You ain't seeing Trae Young in the dunk contest, are you? Huh? You ain't seeing Luka there. Giannis competing in the dunk contest. Y'all forget that Giannis competed in the dunk contest, and he sucked. Jaylen Brown competed in the dunk contest, and he sucked. One of the worst dunk contests I've ever seen was from Jaylen Brown, and he got to the finals with a one-handed lob over a seated man. He got to the finals. He sucked, and he still sucked. He was sucked in the All-Star game. Literally shot the OGs out of the building. We watched it. But we've had stars compete in these types of events, and we've seen them put in fervor. Y'all just don't want to say that, hey, this ain't 2001 or 2005 or whatever the case the other games were. And every game is not going to be knockdown, drag out. There's a difference in putting in effort and playing in the real game. They ain't going to be trying to play in the real game. And we showed effort tonight, or this weekend, whatever what it was. If we see that happen again, great. No problem. But the issue is we can say we want some more fervor, but we can't then go out and say it's never been there. And most of the time when it was there, we took away, or we keep on changing so much, trying to make it consistently exciting, that when we do have a formula that works, guess what? We get away from it. The charity game where every quarter was a thing and you get to a certain charity, that was an exciting game. Guess what? They went away from it. This current regime of style of All-Star game, they're probably going to change that next year. Because there's no stability. And, as well, If the players try and they lose, media holds that against them. Again, people making fun of Victor Wembanyama crying because he lost in the All-Star game. Which ain't fair, it ain't right, but you asked us for effort, and then when we do care, you clown us. You can't win. You can't win. I'll go back to using LeBron. LeBron tries in this All-Star game, he loses. Guess what? People hold it against him. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. He gets dogged out by somebody because all of a sudden, somebody drops 30 on him. Next thing you know, oh my gosh, he sucked. See, this is why you're not the best player in the league. I'm only using LeBron because it's the most poignant beacon. But it happens with everybody. It happens with everybody. You can't win. Even Anthony Edwards got asked about the whole rhetoric involving why players don't care. And he had to say, hey man, I won All-Star MVP. Why are you asking me about the competitive fervor? Jokic and Luka, they don't want to be here. They don't try. They don't care. Kevin Durant brought it up to you. They don't care. Y'all keep asking us about fervor, but you got you got 3 of the 5 best players here, or two or three of the 5 best players here that couldn't give a lick about this game. But you're asking us why we ain't trying. It's been the same thing every other time. Don't forget, every other All-Star game, Luka's chucking it from half court, Jokic is doing whatever. What you get? I'm all for having fun, but the stigma of why the failure is happening gets only put on a certain amount of people. And even when they do try to do something better, you still get it hold against them. You can't win against this environment of talent when it comes to the rhetoric going against said talent. No wonder people don't care. You want to try in the dunk contest, but you fail. Guess what? You get clowned for it. Why try? Forget that most of the best stars, biggest stars aren't dunking. Outside of Zion and John Morant, brother, nobody else is a legit dunk. Most of the big stars aren't dunkers. And the people that are up and coming, first year, second year, third year, y'all don't care about it when y'all say, where's the good players? Not saying that this crop of talent was that. But there's no winning. There's no winning at all. And so if that doesn't change, this whole weekend's still going to be problematic. The perception and lack of context by media, though there is some truth to some things, the wide sweeping brush is applied to everything. Without context, is always gonna rekindle this problem over and over again. It's a shame. It really is a shame. But again, done with the tangent about the All-Star game. Anything else anybody wants to say about the world of sports at all? Again, trying to give you some time to go get some questions. If you have nothing else to say, it's all good. We're at the 2-hour, 30-minute mark, so we'll do a last call for the world of this show and for the championship round. What else you got to say, if anything at all? And again, shameless plug, if you want to keep on getting this show going, Cash App and PayPal, links down below in the description. If you can support what mean the world to me, absolutely, as well as super chats and super gifts and all that stuff. If you can't give, what mean the world, helps us to pay the bills and helps us to keep on edifying the show for your viewing and listening pleasure. But if there's ain't nothing else anybody wants to say, and everybody's got it out the system, well, we're going to wrap this up, send it home, and get ready for Thursday afternoon, same time, same place, same channel. So with all of that being said, yes, sir, this has been another episode of The Watchable with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. We thank you all for tuning in and listening to the show on today. We appreciate your time, your effort, your energy, your fervor, all of the pizzazz that you all brought on our show. Great conversation, phenomenal discussion on everything involving the world of boxing with Shakur Stevenson, with Devin Haney, with Keyshawn Davis, with Tyson Fury, all Ryan Garcia, Barrios, all of it. We loved it, and we can't wait to be back with you on Thursday afternoon. Thank you to everybody who came in and participated in the show. Y'all were absolutely wonderful. Y'all were incredible, and y'all helped make this show so special. For the top 5 chatters for our show on today, number 5 was Buttercup, Number 4 was Legendary Super Saiyan. Number 3 was Justin Benson. Number 2 was Isaiah. And number 1 was I Need a Bird. Thank you. You are now the top 5. You are number 1 chatter for today's show. I Need a Bird. Congratulations to you. Will you be able to keep that title come on Tuesday? We're going to find out when you tune in and when you come in and support on this show. Can't wait to see your chats and discussions. Can't wait to continue this conversation. Again, leave a like on the video before you leave. Keep on commenting your thoughts and opinions, what you liked or didn't like about the show. Be sure to be back here on Thursday for more action, more fun, more conversation. Subscribe to the channel. Come on and join the Empire. And please be sure to hit the notification bell and share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. And please leave a like before you leave. And if you would like to support the channel one more time, we got Cash App and PayPal links down below, as well as super chats and super gifts, all for your support. All with your support, we can help make the show bigger, better, and stronger, and help me to pay some bills, and help you to, or rather help me to also make the show better for you to witness and enjoy. But with all that being said, I've been Jean-Luc Welch. You all have been absolutely wonderful. I'm gonna get some tea before I get out of here, or when I get done, so I can have my voice ready for tomorrow afternoon. But be safe, be blessed. Wait, I got to mix up. Hold on. I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all been wonderful. Peace and love. Oh, we are out here. Yes, sir. We going to see you all on Thursday. Be safe. Be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we're going to be back same time, same place, same channel. Peace and love. Salute to you. We out.